Hey, everybody! Sorry about the wait. I'm shocked that you guys are still here. It warms my heart that people are here with pitchforks and I guess torches too.
Yeah, it's like Frankenstein, the angry villagers. Anyway.
They just want to burn and pillage. That's all it is.
Heck yeah, I want to burn and pillage. I love burning.
Right? If there's no
Fire.
consequences, why would you not?
Right?
All right.
I want to point out it's not my fault. I was not late. I was actually early. I was early to the StreamYards.
We're here on time. We are special guests decided to step away for a second, so we decided to go live after waiting a good 10 minutes. But that being said, how's everybody going? You know, what's going on?
How's y'all's Tuesday, which feels like a Monday to me?
I decided to spoil myself today, and I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to get because I saw this.
Which one's that? Is that the pineapple one?
It's the mango.
I haven't had the mango one. The pineapple one is really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
I want to try the mango though.
Mango gem. And then I was like, you know what? Since I was there, they're on sale. I got some voltage.
I haven't tried that one yet either.
Voltage is older. I'm surprised you haven't tried it yet.
I tend to stick, if I do drink Mountain Dew, it's either, well, like the pineapple one's the one I would do now, but usually I stick with either the classic or the Code Red.
Yeah. So I was, because usually if I want to get the Mountain Dew, it's be in the case. I don't really find the individuals unless it's like the nasty flavors like thrashed apple. Or the
that one sounds good too. Is that green apple?
Yeah.
I would try that. Heck yeah.
I tried it. I tried it at horrible, like, it's like Mountain Dew, normal Mountain Dew with a green apple aftertaste.
I might like that actually. If I was drinking soda, I would totally try that.
I was drunk, I'd drink that and then throw it up.
If I was sober, I'd drink the whole bottle.
Right. So, all right. So, how's everybody? Yeah, what's going on with everybody? I know you guys have been waiting. I see there's a lot of comments here. Let's see who is first. Let's play that game.
Who is first?
Tehelium or Tehelium or Mr. T, whichever you prefer. Good to see you, man. And then we got some guy named Richmond.
I know that loser.
I know. I prefer Richards.
I prefer Rodriguez.
Robert?
Rudolph.
Oh, not Alex?
Or Rogers. Rogers is cool.
Rogers Rodriguez?
Rogers Rodriguez, yeah.
Okay.
That guy.
All right, Miranda says, going by the thumbnail, I could say almost none of the above for me. The only one I could read would be Iron Cat, and that's out of morbid curiosity. Wow, you read the first one.
That's one of yours. That's not one of mine. That's one of his.
It's funny because she said she read the first one. She enjoyed the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a Jim McKay book, right?
I mean, when you have someone else writing Iron Man in character, it's a lot better, right?
That's true. That's true. Anybody's better than Cantwell. Although Cantwell, I believe, is leaving the series later this year.
Camera's all messed up.
I think November, I think he's leaving.
Yep. Whoa, extreme close-up.
And Dan Slott's leaving after the next issue or two of Fantastic. A lot of writers are leaving titles later this year. Aaron's getting ready to leave the Avengers. Slott's getting ready to leave Fantastic Four.
All right. And then we're getting Chop. Let's go. A lot of angry people.
I know Breen needs
it seems to be the two oldest people in the chat are the angriest.
I think Breen missed his nap time today.
He get no pudding either.
I had pudding today too. I blended some protein powder and some coffee in with some pudding. Oh, that touched my heart. So good.
Marty's saying, "Put down the cake, Zach. Put down the cheesecake."
There was no cake. I haven't had cake in a month, and I'm not gonna have any cake until Saturday, the wedding I'm going to.
All right, Devon, get the tables. And funny thing is about that, I explained to Zach while reading what the hell that means because he doesn't watch wrestling.
It means nothing to me. Absolutely
nothing. And then we got Geeky Puppet Show telling him to hold his depends.
I like Geeky Puppet Show.
Yeah, Puppeting's mean.
A little bit.
All right, so yeah. Dang, Mariko wasted no time entering the chat, dude. You know, in honor of Mariko Tamaki not longer being Detective Comics, I want to talk about food, okay? Yes, that's right. Ram V started this week's on Detective Comics. Came out today.
Very cool. Very nice. You ready yet?
I did. And I'm going to save my review of that till Thursday because I don't want to give away. I'll just say it's not the best Ram V, or what I would have expected from Ram V. I thought he was better on. I'll just say he was better on Catwoman than he was on this.
Ooh, interesting.
Followed by Simon Spurrier, who cannot capitalize the word God, capitalize the G in God in his follow-up story because he hates Christians. He's a weirdo. Remember, he said anybody who is against Brexit is basically
against it or for it?
Against it, or I guess for Brexit. For Brexit, that's what it was. Yeah.
For breakfast, everybody should be for breakfast.
Brexit. That's what I mean. Brexit, not breakfast.
Everybody should love breakfast. It's the best time of the day.
Yeah, he's anti-Brexit. Yeah,
I gotcha. Is he British?
Yeah, he is an angry Brit. Whose Constantine run sucked. I think he's the one that wrote Constantine Damned, isn't it?
You're asking the wrong guy. I don't read. No, it was Batman Damned. That was the one with the Batwing.
Is that the one did he write that?
I think that's the one with the Batwing.
He wrote the 3-book with Constantine, the 3 Black Label books. I forget what they're called, but they weren't that great.
Only been 3? I thought Constantine was in way more.
No, Black Label. Not Hellblazer. Black Label.
I don't read Constantine. He's one of those that DC. I know they're trying to bump up to that Batman level status. They put him in a bunch of stuff. I'm just like, I just don't really care for Constantine. I think he was more interesting when he was played by Keanu Reeves.
All right, you're going backstage now.
Me?
Yes.
Why?
How dare you?
What?
You do not bring up Keanu Reeves Constantine.
Keanu Reeves is awesome.
You keep saying that, and Dalton will show up, and he'll give you a boot to the head.
Our special guest is back, and I don't care if
he is. Okay, all righty. With no further ado, let's give a round of applause for our special guest.
Guess who's back? Da, da, da.
What's up, y'all?
I'm the only one clapping. Sorry. See? Wow. To show how you really feel about your twin.
I'm sorry. Good Lord. The abuse.
It's all right, twin. I don't love you any less.
I never loved to begin with, so
I love you more for not loving me less.
Oh, see, a lot of love going on this top 5, talking about books that we are hoping that we love this week.
Yes, and Breen agrees with me. Keanu Reeves was a great Constantine. I am truth. That's right.
Dear God, Eric Breen's become the new Rhaegar.
Breen agrees with me on something.
I can't.
I'm actually right. I'm actually right about something in Breen's eyes.
No, he's only saying that despite me. That's all he's doing.
Okay, I see.
I'm the host, Zach. It's all about me.
I'll still take it. I'll still take the W.
Hey, what's up, Ed Brewer? Zach Rageman or Rageman?
Rageman. That's what Miranda calls it when I get angry. Or salty.
No, that'd be more if you go this Thursday. If we talk about the worst books of the week, that'd be Batman Fortress number 3.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I said all I had to say on Twitter. You can go check that out if you really want to know.
All right. So, for those who don't know, what we do here is we talk about 5 books or each from our pull list, and these books are what we think are going to be the top 5 books we're going to enjoy. Now, sometimes we only have 6 books, so it makes it easier to narrow it down as for what book we'll eliminate. But when you have, like me, I usually get like 10 books, and I like pretty much a majority of them. It's harder for me to narrow them down, believe it or not. And what we'll do, I guess we'll skip his head. He's done. All right. I know. There he is.
Give him a second. Yeah, it might have been a connection issue.
All right. Welcome back, Skip.
Thanks.
Coming forward. Put it on screen.
Oh, BRB.
All right. So what we do here is, these books will be on Thursday nights. We usually around 7 o'clock, but not anymore because our local Zach here decided he doesn't want to be with us on Thursdays.
It's not my fault. I'll keep saying it every time you blame me. It's not my fault.
Well, I can't blame God, so I blame you.
Well, I'm not going to be here this week anyway. I have a wedding rehearsal dinner
Yes.
that I'm going to. So.
So this Thursday what we do is we basically it's called the best books of the week. We take the books that we thought were going to be our top 5 here on this Tuesdays, and we go over the books we got from the comic book store, and we tell you which books we like. Will the 5 books tonight make it into Thursday night's top 5?
Who can say?
Then following that, we'll be doing a retrospective of Avengers number 4. Possibly Captain Frugal will be joining us. Talk about the first appearance of Captain America joining the Avengers.
In the Avengers.
Yeah, in the Avengers, yes.
Yeah. First appearance of Captain America was way before Avengers 4.
Unless you count that book, it's the only book you've read. You haven't read anything back before that. You know, everything changes now.
That's true.
True. All right.
What's up to Ash on Comics? Join in the chat. He agrees with me too. I got Breen and Ash on my side tonight. I am invincible. For now. I'm sure I'll say something over the course of the stream that they'll turn
Like I
on
said,
me.
all the old people are angry tonight. Good. All right. I guess Skip is busy, so I guess what we'll
He
do
stepped
is
away for a second. Yeah, he'll be back, I'm sure.
I'll go first with my book, my top 5. That being said, all right, I'll jump right in.
I'm here. My bad.
Oh, you are. Oh, cool. You are here. Okay, I wasn't sure if you're having more things behind the scenes. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm talking. We're talking about the 5th book that we're looking forward to.
Number 5.
Number 5.
So, do you want to go first, or what do you want to do?
Yeah. Wait, you said, do I want to do what? Go first?
Do you want to go first? You're the guest.
Oh, yeah. I'll go first. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, book number 5 for me this week is going to be from Aftershock Comics, Kaiju Score, Still from the Gods, number 4.
Yeah, my guy.
You know, I got you, my twin.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good
So,
How far down
yeah,
is
I've been
there it is. You found it.
There you go. Yeah, James Patrick on the script, Rem Brew on the art side of things. I got turned on to James Patrick by a buddy of mine that I met in the online comics community. I did not read the first Kaiju Score, so I jumped into this one without having read that one.
Yeah, it's
but
the last book of the series.
Yeah, but the series has been good. I mean, literally the only thing that I've really had an issue with is I just don't like how pointy the joints are on some of the art. But that's literally it. The rest of it has been pretty engaging, very interesting characters. The lead character is, she's more of the alpha female type and whatnot. But what's cool about it is it feels like it feels like the proper presentation of that archetype where, she's tough on the outside because of the nature of her job. And, like if she doesn't show teeth, then it's easy for, especially a woman in this field, of thievery to just get eaten alive. So she shows her teeth the way she needs to. She's tough for her crew, but she has her times of doubting herself. She, very much does care for her crew. And on the inside, she does have, a soft place, which is like the source of her loyalty to her crew that she goes and does these jobs with and everything. So I like the way that that's set up. Of course, like just the setting of, this person being in the profession of, high stakes, heists and stuff like that. But within the setting of the world, like kaijus are a real thing. So here and there, they find, whereas when I first heard about it, I was like, I like kaiju. I was like, but I'm not sure how much you could hook me on, like, there's kaiju fighting in the background but there's this heist thing going on. But the way that James Patrick brings the kaiju into the story feels way more organic than it should for such a tall tale type thing. So yeah, I'm really interested to see how it's going to finish. But and then I've been reading other James Patrick books and stuff too. A very, very, very underrated person on scripts, I would say, in this day and age.
I just noticed that the shirt, it's a giant kaiju.
Yeah.
Yeah, the covers are really cool. I do like the covers for Kaiju Score, how they usually have a different member of the crew on them.
They're very neon.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've never didn't read. I think I read the first issue of the original Kaiju score. Liked it, but I never went back to it. So it'd be one of those books I'll eventually get back to it. Probably when it's a quarter bin. But
Yeah, when it goes to
Yeah.
trade or something like that.
Yeah,
you
'cause-
know, I know you
Yeah.
don't always mind reading digital, so you could even go that route. with
I
it.
mean, true. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those books. It's I'll probably get through it. It doesn't look like it's too deep like some of the other books you read.
Mhm.
Skip, you're into a lot of really indie books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like if you're gonna give me, you know, the kind of the typical settings with like superheroes and stuff like that, which I don't, you know, I don't look down on, but I've just had so like superheroes weren't the most popular things in comics as comics were gaining popularity, but eventually they became that. And there's nothing wrong with that. The people spoke and they liked it. But there's so many of those stories out there. And what, you know, we like to watch TV shows that don't got nothing to do with superheroes sometimes.
Yep.
Like I like that in my books too. Sometimes I just want to read about heists, or I want other interesting stories. And then now these days when the creme de la creme occurs, when the true cream rises to the top, I'm gonna hear about it from Zach, or I'm gonna hear about it from
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna hear about it from someone else, and then
Yeah.
I'll go grab that trade, and experience it.
There was that book you guys were reading with the it's about a former assassin who was dying, and he was going against. It was kind of like in a sense, it was kind of like John Wick a little bit, but he was like he said he had like cancer and was dying, and he was trying to.
That's not King of Spies you're thinking of, huh?
I'm thinking of
Mark
that.
Millar?
King of
Yeah.
Spies.
Yeah.
Was
that
that
good?
good? That was really
Because
good. 3-issue miniseries, I think.
Because I just got done watching The Old Man with Jeff Bridges, and that's all
right.
spy stuff, on the run, fake name stuff. So I'm kind of getting into those kind of stuff, which I might probably start getting more into some of the Brubaker books.
Nice.
Oh, you are in for a treat, my friend. So many people around me are getting into Brubaker more right now. It's so exciting. Yeah, and he got nominated for more awards too, as the Eisners just came and went. So yeah, he's just one of the best in the business.
I'm not only for a treat, but I'm also in for being broke. The Brubaker books, because once you pop, you can't stop. That's like with Pringles, man.
Yeah, you're right. It's true. No doubt about that.
I don't think I've never read a bad Brubaker book. So that's why I'm like, if
they
he
don't
writes,
exist.
I don't think there is one. Shoot.
If he writes his style,
I've read his more comic book, even he had a run of X-Men where they go into space, and really it's like the story could be very easy to mess up if you had a lesser writer on it. But Brubaker took an X-Men team where I was only familiar with one of the characters, and he made it one of my favorite X-Men stories.
Right.
Just fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right. So anything else on this schedule score? Otherwise, we'll go to I'll go with mine, number 5.
Yep, go for it.
Cool. All right. Mine might be actually. I wonder if mine's higher on the list than yours is. It's because I'm going with the indie book too. Oh, it is higher. The Scorched, number 8.
Nice.
It's a series that I never thought I'd say I like. Spawn Avengers. It's literally that's what it is. It's the Avengers, but in the Spawn universe. All of them are. It's also each of them have their own personalities too. Just like I like when you have characters that aren't just like there in the background, that they actually have their own personalities, and they don't change. They're not written, as you go through each issue, they still the same. They're like, so if like one character like the gunslinger, he's cocky, and sometimes that causes them troubles. She-Spawn is actually becoming less cold-hearted. She's become more kind-hearted. She's like more the heart of the team. She's the leader. While where Spawn, is just like he if superior. He's basically like superior Iron Man, or you say it's like Batman. He's a dick, and he doesn't share what's going on the team. He just expects the team to do everything. So in a sense, they're like the Bat Family, but more like Todd McFarlane style. And each of them have their own different there's different spawns from different timelines. Obviously, the Gunslinger spawn is from the Old West. He wants to go back, and then he got one from the medieval era. The art's Steven Segovia has been pretty good. The covers are just as good. This is the alternative cover right here by Kevin Keane. There's no X-Men cover this week.
No, I think they finished that. They did the whole connecting set.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is fine, just in time for Deceased 3 to use it for their variants.
Great. Right. But yeah. I'm looking forward to more of this. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna go, but I'm probably getting the original cover though, the main cover. And it's $2.99, dude. That's insane. $2.99.
$2.99.
And
One of
people
the
are
best
like,
value you'll find on the show on the stands.
now when we think of Spawner, like people are like, oh, it's Todd McFarlane, you know. It's like, is he getting old of an age? It's not, Todd McFarlane is actually, he's been doing the lettering. He does the digital lettering. He does it. And he shows it on his Instagram. You follow him when he'll do touch-ups. But Sean Lewis is writing it. You know, he got a younger creative team leading this. That's why it doesn't feel like a normal Spawn book to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the reasons I kind of like it. Now that could be blasphemous because there are people who I love Spawn. Spawn is just angry Batman. I mean, like angry all the time, and that's all he is. He has no other mood swings. His personality is just anger. I know everything. Screw you, you know. But I don't know. So that's my number 5, Zach. I don't know. I know you were getting this book series for a while, if you're still getting them. But
yeah, I'm still reading it. Yeah. Actually, that is also my number 5.
all right.
We've got to stop doing this.
I've also been picking up this book too. I haven't read any of them because I was really just picking them up for the Jim Lee like X-Men homage covers.
Yeah, right.
But the more that y'all talk about them, I must say the more I'm interested. And I forgot it was Steven Segovia on art. I like Steven Segovia.
His
so the
art's
more you guys
really
talk
good.
about it, the more I'm probably going to go back and read all the ones that I picked up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I think it might work better as a binge read in some cases.
Yeah, it does for me.
I don't think it's like, because I know I've heard like you or Ash have mentioned with some books, it's what was it, Righteous Thirst for Vengeance? Like it's better to digest them one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
This I think, I don't know. I feel like I need to binge read, or at least I need to read 2 issues back to back because there's a lot that can happen across 2 issues.
I had 2 issues. I did that back to back because I skipped it the week before and it wasn't in my I didn't get a chance to read it, so I just never read it. But when it came out 2 weeks later, I was like, crap, I gotta go back and read.
Right. So yeah, Scorched number 8. This is my number 5 as well. I'm actually hoping to get the cover B. I really dig the cover B, the team shot kind of with Spawn in the background, by Kevin Keane. This cover is really cool too. I do like this cover as well, but the other one has a little bit more color to it. I kind of like it. It's got more of a 90s kind of look to it, which is Spawn, so I think it works.
I was gonna kick my comic book store as like old like Spawn toys, like still in the box.
I guarantee. Oh, mine does too. I guarantee you they're about to start getting a lot more with the new Batman Spawn crossover that's coming out.
Is it really? I thought Batman Spawn was already happened.
No, that was a big announcement at Comic-Con. They're gonna have a new Batman vs Spawn mini. That's like the biggest thing that drew in DC fans, I think.
I thought they already did that though.
I'm sure. Oh, they have. This is gonna be a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just worried because it's like new and like who's in charge of it? Is it Todd McFarlane or is it DC Pride?
No, it's not gonna be anything like that. I mean, it's Batman and Spawn.
Where's my rainbow Spawn?
It's no, it's coming from Todd McFarlane and Greg Capullo.
There you go, Greg Capullo.
So yeah, Todd and Greg. Hopefully
Todd's not writing though.
No, he is. It says Todd. I just told you, Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo. But yeah, that's the new one though. So I'm saying, yeah, you're about to probably see a lot of Batman.
Yeah, and I know, and that's why I left it 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I didn't want a new one.
But yeah, Scorched number 8. This is my number 5. I'm looking forward to it. I've been digging the story. I do like how they're a team, but they don't work together so well. Like all of them seem to be at each other's throats constantly. It's like you take a bunch of lone wolves and try to make them all form a pack. That's kind of what I think you get with this, which I really like.
And one
the
of them
combating personalities.
And because they have like they're almost like symbiotes. like their spawns. One of them actually, I always see him. My first one it is it Gunslinger spawn that always goes back to his normal form?
I don't think it's Gunslinger. I don't think
It's
it is.
one of them though. You'll see him and he always doing stuff. So
yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name. It's like one of the medieval fantasy ones. I think I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fun though. And again, like you said, $2.99, 32 pages. It's awesome.
And the cover is done by Puppeteer Lee. Sounds like Puppeteer, doesn't it?
I'm not getting that one though. I'm getting the other one.
Yeah.
Cover B.
All right, so let's go to Skip's number 4.
Skip's number 4 is that's right, because y'all both shared that one as your number 5.
Yep, sure did.
Okay, all right. Look at you, got some scorched twins over there.
You know,
okay.
I normally have different books. So I have more to choose from, but I have such a small list this week because everything was last week.
Yeah. My list is it's funny. My list is bigger this week, but still, I guess, small in comparison. All right, my number 4 book is going to be Hit Me number 5 by Artists, Writers, and Artisans Inc., aka AWA Upshot, aka AWA Up Shizzle.
Sweet. I'm enjoying this book, man.
Yeah, Krista Faust, Marco Lesko on the colors. Priscilla Petratus, I believe, is on the pencils and lines. And yeah, I mean, very, very interesting book. This book ended up being a lot better than I thought it would be. And I don't want to steer anyone wrong. Like, this book very much deals with like the kink world and all of that stuff.
Sadism.
That
last issue.
A lot of the isms. Oh, especially the last issue. Oh my god. But and normally stuff like this is
not my cup of tea.
Like I anytime someone brings up stuff like kink and stuff, I'm like, it's automatically going to be too gratuitous for me to be able to see past that to enjoy whatever story they're trying to tell, if there is even a story in there. But there really is an actual story in there, and it's pretty interesting, and it's fairly creative how Krista Faust has been able to kind of have the character kind of go through that world and also through like part of the criminal underbelly, and even how they overlap, and how and like the motivations why the main character is going through the hell that she's going through in order to kind of get through the end of the mission. And I have to say, the way that they left off the very last issue was more compelling and riveting than I've even seen from some of like the comics that I'd read from the big 2 over the last 3 years. So pretty solid writing overall.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like a Brubaker book, and like, is she gonna survive at the end? Is she gonna die?
Yeah,
because
there is a little bit of that. Yeah,
because it's one of those books. Like, and this person always writes. I think this person, she also wrote Bad Mother as well.
She did actually. Yeah,
like everyone in this, it's like to me. I think like Deadly Class, but like Deadly Class on like the boys level. It's like,
you know what? Yeah, that and it's funny because when I was talking about gratuity, I immediately was thinking about The Boys, and especially last night because I fell asleep watching the stream RDV that you and Ash were doing over on Ash on Comics channel.
Yep.
So I was like, you guys were explaining to me like why the writing works for you and some of the stuff in there, and I had read a little bit of The Boys, and it's still too hard for me to get past some of just the gratuity and like how gruff the book is. But in here, it's not as gratuitous.
They don't show
it's not as gruff. Yeah, they show some stuff, but they really only show enough to really support the story. It doesn't really go beyond that.
Your imagination is what really gets you.
Exactly.
Unlike The Boys, where they don't wait for your imagination. Your imagination is like 10 miles back that way.
Yeah, your imagination is tapping out. You're checking out stuff from The Boys. But I also really like the person who does the pencils. She's still got a way to go as an artist, especially when it comes to like proportions and faces. But I really enjoyed her art from a book that me and RDV had read called Chariot by Brian Edward Hill. So I wanted to continue to try to support her over in this story as well.
Is she doing? Okay, she's on the cover of it. It's Jeff Dekill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was talking to Ash about this. Like, this has actually been a good book. I've been enjoying it, and I always forget it's the same artist that just Chariot, because Chariot's such a more uplifting book than this. It's like, so when I see it, it's like, oh, that's right. It's right. Yeah, it's that's the same artist. But like I said, the character is a character you normally wouldn't root for, because she's just so centered. But when her friend gets held hostage, she finally stops caring about herself.
Right.
And, yeah.
There's actual character progression, because very much at first, when I think about Ash, sometimes when we're looking at characters that are not, the prototypical good, upstanding people, or or righteous protagonists, and I'm like, like I can see why people wouldn't like this person. But then you see where they are, and then you see something that forces them out of their comfort zone, or wherever they whatever place that they were standing firm in, and then you see character progression. And it doesn't necessarily win you over with them as people, but what you can respect and appreciate is, okay, look, they're growing. They were in one place and they were really self-centered, and now they're being more selfless than they may have ever been in their entire lives. So it's been interesting to see.
Her professor got her in the wrong place, wrong time, and now she's trying to save her friend's life while dealing with mobsters and stuff like that. And just it's it's like Catwoman but kinkier.
That's actually, you're hitting the nail on the head right now, RDV, with these comparisons.
I'm pretty sure she's getting hit by the hammer.
Oh,
she probably has. But anyway, another one for AWA Upshot. They keep man. I mean, I did not expect Alex or Axel Alonso to come over here and just have such a consistently satisfactory line of books, and how consistently they get the books out on time and all of that stuff. Very much looking forward to the second volume of Erratic, but this is another book that I must say, has been very, very has been quality. Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is getting a second volume or not, but there's been a lot of I think wasn't Life Zero, wasn't that also Upshot?
That was a Blaze.
Oh, Blaze, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of these little 5-issue miniseries, and usually we complain about those from Marvel and DC, but I'd like to see these continued versus ongoing at Marvel and DC.
Yeah, I appreciate them. And what else is cool about it too is it obviously periodicals and the support that they really get relies on how many people are going and buying a monthly. But if you see a story that you're kind of interested in with AWA, but you do want to save a little money, all of their trades, I don't think they've done one trade yet that was more than $10. All of their trades are always $10.
They're like original Image trades. Cheap.
They're like the original. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but especially before the pandemic, where it's like, first trade, $9.99. Like, man, how could you not support that?
This book comes with only the trade. It's coming with a bottle of hand sanitizer.
It's
prayer beads. Wow, those aren't prayer beads. Those are beads.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna need some Hail Marys too. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's Hit Me.
Hit Me, and I agree, Eric. Hit Me is better than Absolution. Although I'll judge Absolution better when I read the second issue, see if it gets better. But so far, that book is not really doing so well for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed issue number 1 of Absolution, but I would like to see it.
Like I said, if you're gonna put a mohawk in, just say you're doing it because it looks cool. Don't say it like there's like explanation. There is no explanation. They shaved her whole entire head.
Sacrament by Peter Milligan, though, coming out on AWA again later. That looks really interesting too. Okay. AWA, just a bunch of really interesting books. Anyway, I don't want to hog up the time. That was my number 4.
Sure,
what you got?
We'll skip right along. My number 4, going from a book that some people may not like to some people may not like even more. And scroll down.
Are you saying some people might not like Scorched? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about going from Hit Me to Iron Cat.
Oh, okay.
Pereira Perez on here, Jen McKay writer in this. Those are the people who hate, like, well, Iron Man has armors. No one should be able to steal one of his armors. This was an armor that was originally stolen by Black Cat. She took one of the armors, redesigned it with the help of people. They made their own. And as I say, the armor is not as good as Iron Man's armor, but according to this cover, that's a little bit over. Actually, it is true because when Tony got the armor back, someone else stole the armor from him after he upgraded the suit, gave it all these new weapons on it. It's basically has to deal with Black Cat's past with the Black Fox, and her being when she's like 16 or 15 years old, and another girl that was with her. Because of the events what happened in Jen McKay's Black Cat series, where the fox was killed. Now this her former fellow protege wants revenge on Black Cat, wants to kill her, and Tony ends up getting involved because it's his suit. It's a big mess. If you look past that and quit being angry, it's a fun book. Yeah. And it's Iron Man being written as Iron Man. Because Jen McKay, that's true, Jen McKay is as Iron Man with even with Miles Morales, they had a team up back in one of the annuals, and it was great. It was something I haven't seen in forever from Marvel. A book you can actually read.
Very cool. I do like Jed McKay. I think he is one of the better writers modern Marvel has over there.
I do love the Bob Layton style armor. It's just I still like the one he had in the 2000s, Extremis armor.
Extremis armor was pretty cool.
The bleeding
edge. Well, you see, that it works better in the comics than it did in the movies for sure. Once they started doing the nanotech in the movies, I was like, eh. But in the comics, no, it does. I think it works well.
Ash just spit up his black eyed peas, says Breen.
Might have.
And there is another cover here. This is Zama. I don't know who the person is. Kei Zama, a Japanese artist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The original armor didn't have talons and all this stuff, so or a
giant ponytail.
Well, that's new too. That's not part of the book. But of course, because I liked what they originally said. Tony said, and he was talking to Black Cat. He's like, well, the armor. He's like, I kind of souped it up, It's like, because it's when I get to the point where I feel like I need to have a drink, I distract myself. So I just worked on the armor and I upgraded it, keep his mind off it, other than going and drinking.
Ah, okay.
He constantly keeps himself constantly occupied. Otherwise, he'll want to have a drink because he's still tempted.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the aliens thing. It has the red skull, like Ghost Rider.
Predator, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure this is supposed to be Beta Ray Bill and Venom.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's my number 4. Let's go to your number 4, Zach.
My number 4 is a brand new miniseries starts this week from DC Comics. It's called Mech #1.
I knew you were going with another Mech Strike, but DC version of.
Heck yeah! There's 2 things you can always count on me to buy. That's dinosaurs and giant robot suits. Always.
There it is. It's so far
Nice.
down.
Yeah. So this is one of 6. This is the very first issue. This is from writer Kenny Porter, who I haven't read a whole lot of his stuff, so I'm kind of going in blind as to what his writing skills are, if he has any. The artist, Baldemar Rivas, pretty good. Kind of more cartoony. I like the stuff you see on the cover here. I think this is kind of a good example of what you'll get on the interior.
Another multi-universe thing where after World War II, it says the planets protected JSA devastated with them, and the Age of Superheroes came to an end. But that's when the mech began, and then they just started building their own armors. Why would the Flash need armor? Why would Batman has a bat suit. I understand that. Superman is the Man of Steel. Sorry, it's just.
I don't talk about Hit Me when you're talking about your comics.
Hit Me, it makes sense.
This is in this universe though, for all we know, the Flash does not have his super speed or anything like that. So yeah, in this universe though, the superheroes, it seems like they build these giant mech suits, very Pacific Rim like, to fight off Darkseid. Honestly, I don't need a super complicated plot. I just know Justice League's going to be in giant robots. Darkseid's got a giant robot. just let them go real steel on each other. If the art is good, that's the big thing I'm looking for here. If the art is solid with these robot on robot fights, then I'm going to be a happy customer. And like I said, the art does look cool. Of course, they're going to have a bunch of variants. Dan Mora, I think, is doing some variants. Unfortunately, I think it's like he's got one card stock. Actually, it's these blueprint looking ones. Yeah, the Batman one right there.
Yep.
He's got another one that's like a 1 in 50.
Now that is a cool cover. I'll give you that.
That is, yeah. He's got some that are like this. He's got a Wonder Woman one too. I think it's like issue 2 or 3.
But I'd rather have that as a poster versus
yeah.
a comic book.
Yeah, that would make a really awesome poster. But yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm not looking into this for a super deep story. I mean, it could be as flawed as the Pacific Rim movies, which they are still very fun.
Right.
But yeah, that's also why this is number 4. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is the end all of my comic list this week. No, I'm thinking it'll be a really fun robot story. Plus, if there's a chance to get a glimpse of the Justice Society at modern DC, then I'm even happier. So. But yeah, this is my number 4. I'm looking forward to
it. Here's Superman.
Superman's got his own. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It looks like his mech even has like the little hair twirl just going up.
It's a Gundam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Gundams or what do they in Pacific Rim? They call them the Jaegers. That's the cover I'm really hoping to find. The wraparound with the dark side and the parademons. That looks really cool.
This would be better if it was the 1940s and everything was
yes
stuff.
That would be cool, like steampunk looking mechs. That would, oh my gosh, if they do something, if this gets big like Injustice and they go back and do like a year 0 and it's like with the JSA, that's the dream for me.
DC Gundam, that's what I want.
DC Gundam, dude, I'm there.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
I remember, there was a Batman Superman mecha thing.
Yeah, wasn't that in the old World's Finest, where it was like Ed McGuinness, I think, who was doing the art?
Might have been. There was a Public Enemies. There was a Toyman in built one, didn't he?
I want to say that was Ed McGuinness as well. I want to say. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is the only DC book on my pull list. Oh, well, not the only one, but it's the only one in my top 5.
Man, if this was a manga, this would be it right here.
Dude.
look at that.
That's got some Attack on Titan vibes.
And it's just Superman without his powers.
Yep. Superman, I don't believe he does have his super Kryptonian powers. Yeah.
That's the only way this comic book will make sense. If Superman doesn't have his powers.
Yeah.
Nobody has powers. So Kenny Porter, let's see what else has he done. I know
he's done some of the stories in like those big anthology seasonal books they do.
He's done the Flash Fast of Mine.
Yeah, see Urban Legends, that's one of the anthology series.
All right.
Those holiday books that come out several times a year. So nothing big or definitive, but we'll see.
Superboy Man of Tomorrow.
Oh, he is writing the new. Oh, okay, I missed that one. He is writing the new Superboy. Okay.
All right.
Kind of curious about that one.
Is that branching off from that that other Superman?
This is the one that was in the round robin
okay
tournament with Superboy.
I was talking about the other one from the Dark Crisis Young Justice. Is that the Superboy is going to branch off his own series?
No, this was the round robin before the Dark Crisis stuff came out.
She's saying nothing's connected. That's for you, Ash.
You were excited about it when it was tournament time. You were like, I want to read this Superboy book.
Because at the time and then I realized that nothing's gonna stay the same. It's gonna be like, wow, they really want this. Now let's change it to what we want it as. Oof. All right. So we're on to number
3.
Why? Skip.
Numero 3.
Numero
right?
3.
Is that how you say it?
That's Chicken Man says it.
Okay. I am going with A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 10.
I asked Ash about this. Has it been righteous, his thirst?
Yes, and there's been enough vengeance in there as well. So
recommend. This is my next book series after I'm done with Deadly Class.
Okay. All right. This is not the one I would suggest after Deadly Class, but this is a book I suggest, and it does have Rick Remender in it, so definitely,
he's starring,
check it out.
He wrote himself in this.
Well, actually, you know what? I think he did. I want to say earlier on, I saw a Rick Remender
Yeah.
out there. Anywho, yeah, Andre Lima Araujo continues to kill it with the art. I love Chris O'Halloran's colors. Ever since Ice Cream Man, Russ Wooten doing his thing. Yeah, but it's just so much tension gets built up within the art. The script, like I said, kind of is in the passenger seat holding the map. But Andre Lima Araujo's art is definitely got his hands on the steering wheel, and it's crazy how intimate the story is from where it started. But the driving force is, yeah, not only righteousness but also love and care and concern. But you wrap that all up in like crazy murderers, high profile like shot callers who got psycho serial killers going and scratching people off the lists, but they get hired through the dark web, for people wanting to, pay them in crypto to go and knock off, their wife for their insurance money or whatever, whatever,
Florida.
you will. It's a love story based in Florida is really what it is. So, but anyway, yeah, there's not enough that I could say. There's not enough that I have
Louisiana,
said, to really boost the book. You just have to get issue number 1, and you just got to fall into it. That's the best I could say. But it's number 3 this week.
I keep thinking this is on 25 or 26. It's only a 10. It blows my mind because I feel like you guys have been talking about this forever.
Yeah, and I don't remember it really taking like a big break either. Like, let me go back and look at the release schedule for it, because Remender tends to be very consistent with things. So let me see. October, November, December, January, February, March. No, they took a break in April, May, June, July. They dropped twice in June.
Yep.
And dropped in July, and August, So they've been consistent. But the thing really is so much happens in a book that has so few words. So much happens, and that's really why you feel like it's crazy for such a quick read, because you'll read it pretty quickly. And I even suggest reading through it twice and looking around the panels and stuff. But for a book that reads so quickly, it feels like it has more plot than so many comics from the big 2 these days. So don't be fooled. It's almost like the Chet Holmgren of comic books. It's like, yeah, that's a really tall, really skinny dude, but like he'll ball. Like he'll ball you out the gym. Like don't be deceived.
Well, that's how I am with Deadly Class right now. That's I think that's why he's probably focusing more on that, because it's ending, and then he's gonna we'll focus more on this after he's done. You might see 2 of these books maybe a week, or not a week, but per month, almost.
Maybe.
I'm not sure what else he's. I'm not sure what else he's writing.
How fast Andre Lima Araujo can draw.
I'm sure he can draw fast.
Probably.
Maybe.
But anyway, Righteous Vengeance is my number 3 book for this. We
also don't know how far along he is, because if that break in April, he could have been drawing like 2 issues.
Yeah, he could have been. It's not uncommon. A lot of creative teams, and indies will take that time to get ahead, so that way they, can continue to release the book. Because that's the biggest thing that can hurt you in the indies, is not being consistent with your drops. Because there are so many other books from the big 2, people will roam real quick. So indies, when they got the audience, they know they have to keep them. So you could be right.
Same with Marvel and DC. I don't even notice that a book hasn't popped out in a couple weeks, because like I have so many on my pull list. So yeah, it really sucks especially if you're reading an indie books and that book is not there. I mean, Greg Ruckus, screw you, bring me my Lazarus. I want my last book. Been waiting 2 years, bro. I mean, you talking about reading it slow. You can read that book slow, and you'll still get done before he gets the book out. Yeah, and I know people are like, Greg Rucka, I hate that guy. He sucks. He makes everybody lesbians. Only in DC. Outside of that, he writes good books. I know it's crazy. It happens, but it does. Happen. Go check out Lazarus.
It does, yeah. Lazarus, Stumptown. I mean, yeah. Rucka
Yeah.
is solid, man. Even his Checkmate series was solid.
I like
Yeah.
I liked his run.
Didn't he do Gotham Central?
No.
Was
Yeah,
that him?
him and Brubaker tag teamed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also was writing part of No Man's Land too. I'm not sure if he was writing Batman or if
Oh,
he was,
I didn't know
if he was
Okay.
writing Robin or not Robin, but Nightwing. But he had a hand in that too, and his stories in that books were great too. I was like, so when I read Lazarus, it's like, wow, this is like 90s Rucka. You know, back when he was actually writing good stuff. But all right. The house is smelling like black eyed peas. Zach would hate too. I don't like black eyed peas either.
And the bass keeps running. And I'm sorry.
Ba-whoop, ba-whoop. Let's get it started.
I did go through a phase. I did listen to the Black Eyed Peas.
What's the girl's name? Ferngully?
Fergie.
Oh,
Fergie.
Furby.
Ferngully.
I know.
No, that's Avatar.
I know, but
Ferngully was just the first Avatar.
all I gotta say, that's a whole lot of Wong though with 10 issues. That's my Led Zeppelin joke for the night. A whole lot of Wong. All right. Let's go on to the next one, which I believe is me, right?
I think so.
Yes. Number 3. It's right here. Detective Comics 1062, which looks like it's 16 or 62. It's a weird cover. No, this the whole art in this is different. I read it earlier today. You can skip the second half, which is Simon Spurrier, because the art is horrible, and so is the writing.
Hey, that's Danny, sir.
I know.
I resent that. Danny is the best.
When
Danny
you
Strips is one of the best in the business.
Danny Strips.
Alrighty. Heck yeah. She's great.
I mean, she's hot. I'll give her that.
She is hot. But I love her crotchety, creepy, angular art. I love it.
Crotchety
I
and
get
creepy.
like every cover she ever puts
you know,
out. I always get.
crotchety and creepy. That really blends well with Simon Spurrier.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong. No, but I do get it. Danny is an acquired taste. Like when I first saw Danny's art, I was like, do they know how to hold the pencil?
It just really clashed with this. This felt like a drawback to when I was reading the interior art by Raphael Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Quirky or Kirky. You've heard it both ways now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It felt like Gotham by Gaslight in a sense. Really like a really old kind of timey like style drawing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to.
Didn't he work with Scott Snyder on that American Vampire?
Yeah, yes.
That's why I know. I'm like, I know the name. I was just trying to where the picture I know the art from, but this was like a very really throwback art on the book here. It's part 1 to 3. They're introducing new villains. Talia al Ghul makes an appearance in here as well, and it's Nightwing's also in here too. Like I said, it's a different kind of animal.
Literally,
because like I said, it doesn't feel like a normal Batman. If anything, it feels like. Remember we had the Batman monster comic books back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that in a sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it definitely does. But I appreciate Ram V bringing that in, and he brought it into the right one. That's Detective Comics is where you do that. Detective whereas Batman is very much like whatever the plot is. Batman tends to be like a little more cinematic, a little more like modern day Batman, whereas Detective Comics very much is like the adventures of Batman, and by adventures it could be anything. It could be vampires, it could be monsters, it could be little Timmy popped a bike tire and Batman needs to teach him how to change it. Like that's Detective Comics is where you do the adventures of Batman.
Yeah, I think was it Shadow of the Bat or was it Legend of the Dark Knight? They had individual stories, with him going against the Man Bat or going against some other monsters,
I cannot say for sure which one it was.
If only Eric Breen was on this channel. But
if only.
Yeah. 40 pages. So for $5, in reality, you can skip the last 10 pages. No offense to Danny. More offense to Simon. But look at this. Like, look at the read up. The turning Gotham into tragic yet beautiful gothic opera. And that is very, what you see in the cover is what you're going to see in the interior, stuff like that. So if you like, like you're tripping balls and seeing a giant bat flying towards you like they did in Batman Year One show. Like, yeah, literally, that's like all it's missing is the villain being like a scarecrow in this book. It is that cool. But yeah, and Ash is saying it's Legends. Yeah, it's Ram V, and I'll give the next issue another shot. I already read this, so I mean, I am looking forward to the next one to see where it's going to go. The story is going to go because it's a whole new villain being brought in, whole new organization. You're seeing Bruce is still living in this brownstone little community, little like thing, and he has a cave and stuff by himself. And just remember, this is still low tech Batman. You know, he's not a billionaire. He's not rich anymore. He doesn't have Alfred, which kind of sucks. You know, but
a bit.
Yeah. But Alfred will be back. Don't worry. Eventually.
Yeah. They've already been showing that he's going to be in the new Gotham Knights video game. So it's like they're like slowly reintroducing him, bringing him back.
He was also in Jacques, the Jacques new thing, the new Batman.
Okay.
Label.
Yeah.
Seeing Alfred in that, and then seeing him in the two titles, to me, it's offensive. Alfred should be in there. Alfred is he's the heart of he keeps Batman moral, you know. But they want to have Batman basically with no Bat family. That's what it seems like it is. We're going with this. Other than the part we get a little conversation between Bruce and Nightwing in this book, it's really feels like it's where Mariko Tamaki had the whole Bat family. This is going to be this Batman. Yeah.
Actually,
I'm not so sure yet. I'm not so sure that it's going to be just Batman, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think I would really mind that because, like he's been saying, most of the Batman books, like Detective Comics and whatever, you've had more Bat family. Batman's beginning overshadowed in his own books.
Which, if you're going to do that, bring Batman family. Bring my Superman family if you want to do that, you know?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
we already have 21 Batman.
I was just saying, is instead of having Batman's outer family overshadow him in his own book, I'd rather see more Batman and less Batman family than vice versa.
I agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
it's like going to watch a Fast and Furious movie and Vin Diesel's in like 2 minutes of it, and it's all Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris, which I would still watch and still have fun with, but I go to see Vin Diesel. So.
No, I'm with you. And remember, that wasn't the only Bat family that was in there. I won't say who else was in there, but there is another person in there that's literally a part of Batman's family. Maybe not the Bat family, but a part of his family in a different way. So, you know, I don't think he's going to be all by himself, but I do appreciate that, you know, they are highlighting, you know, him more. I like the Bat family, but
one plus.
I don't need them all in the book all the time.
One plus, and then I'll say from this book, I'll just say Talia is back to being her original self, unlike what the Joshua Williamson turned her into.
I didn't mind Joshua Williamson. I've actually never really liked Talia. I've never seen why people are interested. Like, I get like her as a mom for Damian is the only thing that I think.
I would say Talia is becoming Elektra in this book. She's telling what needs to be done and then leaving, and just saying like you need your rules no longer apply. So it's like I get a hint of Frank Miller's like Elektra, like in version of the Top Talia al Ghul. So, but yeah, make Batman not a deadbeat father again. No, make him a deadbeat father again. Because guys know where Damian is? On Lazarus Island. Where all your misfit toys can go and hang out. Yeah, that's Robin. All right, so let's go to your number 3, Zach.
My number 3, Numero Trace, is one that we've already touched on briefly tonight. I'm going to revisit it. Kaiju Score, Steal from the Gods, number 4. And I'm coming at it from a little bit of a different angle than Skip was. Skip, you said that you have been reading this story, but you didn't read the previous one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I read the previous one. I actually read it right before this miniseries started, just in case there was any connection or whatever. And there really isn't. You can read this solo. You don't have to read the first one, but having read the first one does give you that little bit kind of extra background. It kind of explains like how there are kaiju, what the kaiju do, and there are a couple of crossover characters. But yeah, I have been loving this new one almost a little bit more than the first story. Actually, I find it's a little bit more creative. Yeah, the main girl who leads the team, she is a really cool character. I like seeing her as the leader in this leadership role, and she looks out for her crew. Um, there's all kinds of just quirky characters. Everyone kind of has their own distinct voice, whether it's like her right hand guy on the crew or it's like this sleazy person they're doing business with. It's all just really cool. This is one comic I would not mind seeing get adapted to a show. I think it would be a really cool show, especially combining those genres of heist movie and kaiju movie. I think it's a really neat, really just original kind of a premise. The art is really cool too. I didn't dig the art so much at first, but it's kind of grown on me after a while. I like the lines, even the joints. I know you said that the joints were kind of pointed. That kind of threw me off at first, but for this type of story, I don't know. The art just really lends itself to it really well.
Mm-hmm.
The colors are vibrant, which is kind of what I want if it's a more fantastic and out there kind of story like giant monsters and kaiju. I kind of like the colors to be a little bit more bright. But yeah, really great story. 4 issues. It's just a 4-issue miniseries, so it doesn't take a whole lot to find the other 3. Or if you just want to wait for the trade, I don't imagine it'd be too much longer of a wait. But yeah, and then the guy who's writing it, what was his name? Patrick Wilson? No, James Patrick. Patrick Wilson's the guy from Aquaman. James Patrick, yeah, he's really good with the script writing. He did the previous volume as well, which was written really good. There was some nice plot twist in there. Same as in this one. I actually just read issue number 3 this past week. Had a nice little plot twist there. Several plot twists actually, kind of ramping
Yeah,
up the
right.
action.
It had a
Because
few.
yeah, a few, yeah. So, and of course, it's ramping up. It ended on a nice cliffhanger because this is the final issue of this particular story. I hope that they do a volume 3 or a third heist. I think it'd be really cool. This is becoming actually one of my favorite indie books. I always hate it when an indie book though is like a limited series or a limited run, like only for I like the ongoing. It's I like to know, okay, when I go to the shop every month, there's going to be a new issue of Firepower or Scorched or something. If I know there's only going to be 4 stories, I'm very tempted to just wait for the trade. But this story has just been so much fun. I can't help myself. I got to find out what goes on in the next issue. So yeah, number 4, check out Kaiju Score. Either this one, Steal from the Gods, or if you're able to find the first one, the first volume, I think it's worth your read. So that is my number 3.
Absolutely. Something else that I do appreciate about the Aftershock books is the quality of them. You get a nice cardstock cover. The paper quality inside is nice. Sometimes you throw a Marvel or a DC, because I will get their limited series most, here and there.
Yeah.
If I get anything from them, and you throw them on there, and if they're not Black Label, you don't always know what paper quality you're going to get from Marvel or DC, especially from Marvel. And then you get there and you get the book pulled, and it's you already feel that it's that thin paper that's going to fall apart in your hands if you don't read it with gloves or something. And you're like, oh gosh, yeah. I hope the story is good, because it's gonna suck. Making sure my fingers don't get sweaty and my fingerprints don't get smudged into the ink of the cover or the back. So I do really appreciate that Aftershock. The price point is the price point.
That's
but
true.
The quality is always consistent. And They haven't filmed me either. Yeah, I do hold AWA a little bit above them as far as story consistency, but I can't say that I've read an Aftershock book that I was like disappointed in the quality of the story and the art. They are very consistent. So if you
Yeah.
do end up going with the floppies for Aftershock, they like the quality of a physical product that you get is of a very respectable and appreciated standard.
Yeah, definitely worth the $5 price point, more than if you were to get like a Marvel or a DC for the same price. I feel like you do get a bit better quality with the Aftershock.
And I'm surprised, like you said, I'm surprised because the first issue felt like setup. The second one felt like there was progression, but it still felt a little like setup. But oh my gosh, you get into issue number 3 and he shifts gears real quick, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
now I see how you can end it on the fourth one because I didn't see that
Yep.
and that coming. So I've been impressed with James Patrick's plotting of his books.
Yeah, number 3 definitely lights the fire under the butt and shifts things into high gear for sure.
All right. So before we get to Skip's
Yep.
number 2, I'm gonna go over Undead Quinn's. He put his little list in here. He's got for number 5, Swamp Thing number 15.
Nice.
His number 4 is Deadly Class number 54. His number 3 just released it. Is the Sandman Universe Nightmare Country number 4. And
Right
and so far Ash has nothing on his list. he's waiting.
Oh, I mean, Ash is definitely getting a righteous thirst for vengeance. I know that.
Yes. So he'll probably have one book this week if we're lucky.
Maybe
All right.
2.
All right. So in order to read the card your score, I gotta wear sunglasses because it's so bright.
I mean, I don't think you need to wear sunglasses. I like the colors, like what you see on the cover there. Might not be that bright on all the pages, but I do like the color. I appreciate the color. Not every book can be Batman, and like
I'm just saying the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Just like this book.
Oh my gosh. And hey, yeah, Ash, I'm with you. Like, I hope Romvi and Zdarsky can work together to undo all of that damage as well. I mean, they're the only reasons why I'm buying a Batman ongoing series and a Detective Comics ongoing series.
I have never bought an ongoing Batman book until Zdarsky started, like last week or 2 weeks ago. I'd never bought a Batman ongoing.
I was the same way, but
nice.
I was with Tynion or Tynan, whatever you prefer. When he took over from lesser than King, and made him Batman better.
From Tom Peasant.
Tom Surf.
I want to say Tom Petty, but Tom Petty is too good for him.
No, yeah, don't sell
Yeah,
Tom Petty's
don't you dare. Don't drag his name through the mud. How dare you?
All right, so number 2, Skip.
My number 2, go over to my books here. Oh, I know what my number 2 is. I don't even have to look. It is Swamp Thing, number 15, Rom V, Mike Perkins. I can't remember I think Dave Stewart is doing the colors.
Color is Mike Spicer.
Mike Spicer, actually.
Yeah,
okay, Mike
yeah.
Spicer doing the colors. Yeah, because I was like, is it Mike Spicer?
He's
Because I thought
doing another
I didn't
book,
know
too.
there was 2 Mikes. That's right.
He's
there's 2
also
Mikes on
doing
this
another
one.
book too, I thought. Mech.
He's doing a bunch of books. Mike Spicer's all over. He's doing Do a Powerbomb with
Yeah.
Daniel Warren Johnson.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, the reason I brought it up because I just saw him on Mech.
Oh,
Mech.
right.
Oh, does he have a cover? I guess he's doing a cover over for DC Mecha.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet.
So I gotta ask: is this supposed? Who is this supposed to be on here? Just a random person? Is it supposed to be Poison Ivy, or is it Swamp Thing now Swamp Girl?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I believe that's Oh no, that's not Ivy. That is another character that I guess in this book may end up merging a little bit with the Green or getting some powers from the Green. But currently inside of the book right now, what'd you say?
She's getting the Green. Hey,
she might be getting the Green, but currently right now inside of the story. She kind of looks more like Captain Universe. She's kind of like Zach. Yeah, it kind of looks like the sky at night. But in any case, this book has. I mean, I love Rom V. One of my favorite up and coming writers. Shoot, I mean, right now in modern writers, I may have Ron V right below W. Maxwell, Prince, and Hickman as far as like my favorite writers, because he just continues to knock things out of the park. He puts so much thought and care into books, and whether you like it or not, at least it tends to be quality. Now, the only one of his books or two of his books that have been coming out recently that I'm not reading is his Venom and his Carnage, because I'm not a Spider-Man fan. And I'm really not a Venom fan, and I've never really liked Carnage either. So and knowing how the paper quality of Marvel, I just can't trust it. I was just like, hey, you're only writing every other book on the Venom one anyway. And even though I like Al Ewing, I just don't care enough about Venom and Carnage to be interested. So I haven't read those, but I'm reading his Aquaman Andromeda. I only read some of his Catwoman, but I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get the rest of it. But Ron V is just consistent. Okay, cool. I that makes me feel good about reading the rest of it, because
if you like the Jim Ballant and Chuck Dixon, or I think it was Joe Duffy was also writing for Catwoman back in the 90s. You'll like Kid Ram V.
I never read those. I'm not a big. I'm like I like the idea of Catwoman, but I'm not like such a big Catwoman fan. Literally, the only reason why any of the Catwoman stories that I've read, it's only been because of whoever the creative team was, like Brew Baker, you know what I'm saying, Darwin Cook. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. And I know you talk about Chuck Dixon and all that stuff quite a bit. I know you like Chuck Dixon. But
so Skip, real quickly, I want to point out, I figured out who this is. This is Miranda's Christmas tree.
Oh, the eternal Christmas tree.
Now on
taking the everlasting green Christmas tree.
Look at the Christmas lights. Look, you can't see that?
Now it makes so much more sense now. Yeah, that's probably who Swamp Thing has to defeat, which he won't win if that's the case, because Miranda's Christmas tree is undefeated.
It will never die.
Oof, this face.
But yeah, just the story, it's just been quality. The new Swamp Thing character, Kamai, I forgot his last name.
Infantino?
But no, I didn't say Carmine. I said Kamai.
It's Levi. It's Levi Kamai, and Jacob is
Levi Kamai. That's right, Levi. Yeah, it's been really, really interesting. But it's again, even with like how things have been set up and all that stuff, it's really just how Ron V is telling the tale. It's a little more decompressed, but with Ron V, it's not as bad, because he's just pouring so much into the writing. There's a lot of things about concepts, and that's kind of really what this is. It's like there's obviously, you know, similar to the Green, there's things that are like avatars or like representations of concepts. So you've got, you know, of course, yeah, there's a message in it. So for better or for worse, however you feel about things, I don't have to agree with what someone's saying in the story in order for me to appreciate it. I care more about the execution and what you're giving me than necessarily, you know, what the message is, to a degree. But, you know, it's the ideas of like industrialism, you know, versus, you know, nature and its effects, not just on nature, but nature's effects on industrialism and all of these things. But each idea within it has a personification of it. So as you see the concepts and the ideas kind of break themselves down to where you look at what is the essence of the idea of industrialism, what's the essence of the idea of nature, what's the essence of the idea of like identity and who we are versus what we can be, you know, when we're motivated by things like love and respect and all of those things. It's just executed so well. And then oh my gosh, Mike Perkins' art, it's just so damn good. It's like it's timeless. It reminds me of modern stuff and things of the past, and there's a little bit of Bernie Wrightson in there, but
it's like Eric Breen.
It's just really good,
vintage and new at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I guess it can be. But anyway, I will sit up here and I will gush a lot about this book. It's not the best book ever written and everything, but for me, how Ron V is using the swamp thing, and even with it being a new character and everything, how he's weaving in like some of the old lore and all of that stuff. It's just been really, 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 really fun and awesome.
Yeah.
And, I don't hate that it's ending, but I would say if this continued, if they extended it for a second time, I would continue to give them my money.
I mean, it is kind of good that it's ending, and also bad, bittersweet, because he's going to focus more on Batman.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, absolutely. I would prefer him to just drop. I'll be selfish. Drop Carnage, drop Venom. Don't worry about getting
Well,
yourself over
he's not
to
on Venom anymore.
Marvel.
He's on Venom. It's
Yeah,
only
just focus on
yeah.
the DC stuff. That's what I would like to see. But hey, I'm just happy that Rom V is like getting a profile and getting interviewed on like the Marvel channel. While they're doing their live stream
Yeah.
for San Diego Comic-Con, because he's one of the best writers out there. He's such a humble and a good dude, and he really puts his heart into everything. I never feel like Rom V took an issue off, and just mailed it in on any issue. He's always putting his spirit into his books.
Rumor has it Teeny Howard's taking over this book now.
I mean, hey, like, go for it. My money stops when you say teeny. You know what I mean?
I mean, it just seems like she takes over everything. He stops writing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems to be a ongoing trend with that. But hey, whatever. If her name's on it, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, I will say this though. I've dipped into some of the books that she's written. I don't read it. I just look at the art. The entire art's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It just sucks
For
because
sure.
It's like at that point I might as well just say just get rid of her. Just give me the art book interior and I'll put my own dialogue in. Because that's literally what she does.
Oh gosh, yeah. I won't even get into her writing mechanics. Nice lady by all accounts, but I just her her mechanics of plotting and writing a story. It's like a bad roller coaster ride that hurts your neck.
So this book also has Skip's favorite letterer, if you haven't noticed.
Aditya, of course. Longtime collaborator with Rom V.
Yeah, and Charlie Adler right here giving the Necronomicon cover.
Yeah, seriously. It does look like the Necronomicon. Necronomicon, not Comic-Con. Duh.
Comic-Con, yes, that's the next one.
Yeah, right. Actually, I read today they're doing an animated series, I believe, for Ash and the Evil Dead.
If it's Bruce Campbell's supposed to be coming back and writing a thing too.
Oh yeah, for DC.
Yeah.
Sergeant Rock versus the Evil Dead.
If you're gonna do anything, I'm just sorry. Whether you're gonna do in a video game or you're gonna do anything that requires voice acting over for Ash, you're gonna have to have Bruce Campbell. It just won't work. I mean, Batman does because Jason O'Mara is pretty good. Kevin Conroy is obviously the better voice actor for Batman, but it doesn't work for Ash though.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get Ash in comics, but it wouldn't be the same.
No.
Oh. All right. So that being said, and unlike the Eternal Tree, we're moving this off screen. Go to my number 2. All right. My number 2 is actually a book. I'm hoping it's going to be better than the one that came out last week. Hopefully this one's not as offensive. I can find it, though. I got to scroll down. There it is. It's written by a guy who actually wrote the original series back in the day. Greg Weisman. Young Justice Targets #1, a limited series. It looks like it's based off the cartoon series, if you haven't watched that. Now, my only problem is that it says it's continuing the stories of Young Justice Phantoms, which is basically the season that's out right now. Season 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping it's better than the actual show. Because I've seen that before where DC takes like TV properties or shows and puts them in a comic form and makes them a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
That was Titans United, which was better than...
They actually have another Titans miniseries coming out this fall.
So, and the one thing that stood out to me was that we got Stargirl here.
Yep, Stargirl and Cyborg.
That's what kind of drew me in because like Cyborg's not in there in the cartoon series, and neither is
I thought they added Cyborg. I thought they added those due to the new season.
Maybe they did. I'm not following it, bro.
Oh well, there you go then. Yeah, I think they have.
We got Clayface in there. We got the original Cassie. And it looks like Tara too.
Maybe I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure who the middle.
And Changeling's in there too.
His name is Beast Boy. Doggone it, it's Beast Boy.
I'm sorry.
They might call him Changeling in the show. I don't know. It's the red and white costume though. I don't care for it. Purple. The purple costume's the best one.
Yeah, that's really the first thing I noticed is the fade by his haircut.
Yeah, he does have that is a little unusual. But
All right, so yeah, this is
But yeah, Greg Weisman, I was actually
Yeah.
looking him up before we started the show. He's written a lot. He wrote like a bunch of Captain Atom comics like in the late 80s, early 90s. He
Yeah.
wrote other Young Justice books. He's got some cred to him.
the cover
So-
you're seeing right here is also the artist in the interior,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice.
Yeah.
And here's some on the alternative covers here. You got here. It's the Megan Hetrick cover.
Roy Harper.
Yup. That's another thing the show did weird. We had a clone of Roy Harper.
Oh no, there were 3 clones.
Was there 3 clones? Wow.
Mhm.
I stopped after 3.
I started to watch season 3, and that was actually a pretty decent side plot. Was that there were 3 clones of Roy Harper? I was like, okay, that's actually kind of interesting.
Which one is the
one of
baby
them
daddy?
One of them was like really jacked, and then one of them was like the dad, and then one of them had lost an arm. So it was kind of cool. They were all the
I
same
think
character, but they all had different traits.
Will was the clone. Arsenal was the original, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And I have no idea. I didn't see the third one, but
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just hoping that they fix the problems of the show with the little series here and just do their own thing.
If it's carrying on, if it's continuing off the show, you might want to like do a quick wiki search to see what's been going on in the show.
I probably won't care because it probably
Just to be safe, just to know what you're getting into.
Well, there's no Artemis. See, that's the one thing I know. I was confused because Artemis is a big character in the show right now.
Artemis isn't on the cover. Neither is the new Aqualad or Nightwing
Or
actually.
McGann.
Or McGann. McGann was pretty big when the season started.
I'll just be happy if they don't have the stupid Bug or Forrester, whatever his name is.
Oh
Halo.
yeah, the new world.
I don't need all the little because
the outsiders. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Young Justice, after they killed off the best character Wally West in season 2, the next couple seasons was basically just bring in the Young Justice B team.
Dude, no, season 2 was the B team. That's where they added like
Forager was brought in season 3.
No, that's the C team. B team was brought in because in season 1 it's the A team. Then in season 2 they bring in all the extras like there's Impulse and Blue Beetle and Batgirl, Wonder Girl.
Oh, hey, you're right with
Lagoon Boy. Yeah. And then when you get to season 3, that's where they bring in like the outsiders.
Justice for Lagoon Boy.
No, Lagoon Boy can stay. He can hit the bricks. Lagoon Boy was obnoxious. But yeah. Anyway, I digress.
Also, I don't see Calder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you can only fit so many characters on a cover, I guess.
Right. True. So it doesn't really list. Sometimes they list who is in here, but they don't this time.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not a high enough profile comic.
It looks like it's getting. Someone's here. Somebody already liked it, so that was a good issue. So.
All right.
And look, this can't be young as Young Justice Dark Grayson.
Is that you just on an alternate account?
If I had that time, I would. Like I said, would even the people who were the Young Justice Dark Crisis was aimed for hate it? You know it's a bad book. But yet, we'll give her an ongoing series. Ugh. All right, so that's my number 2. What do you have for your number 2?
My number 2, I'm glad you asked, sir. There's a book that I've been looking forward to for a good bit. It's a mini-series. So again, I'm kind of like, should I wait for the trade or should I just get the floppy, the number 1? I'm going to get the number 1. It's right there on the screen. Don't scroll down. You'll miss it. Gambit number 1. Right there. No, you just missed it. You scrolled down. I said don't scroll down. Yeah, right there. Gambit number 1. Chris Claremont writing, Sid Kotian on the art. Of course, it being a new number 1, Marvel's got about Koshin, maybe?
Koshin?
Could be. You had me at Chris Claremont. I don't care who's drawing it. If you got Chris, I mean, I kind of do care.
Clayton Clowes doing the lettering.
I don't care about who's doing the letter. I'm sorry, letterers. It's not as big of a draw for me.
Salvador LaRocca doing a variant cover here.
He is doing a variant. Inhuck Lee is doing a variant. Peach Momoko is doing a variant. Shocker.
Whether it turns out to be a good comic or not, I'm liking this cover art.
Well,
That's the thing.
it's Chris Claremont, so I think the arrow is leaning a little more towards good comic than bad comic.
This
But yeah, it's gonna continue in that vein and that
cover
same
I want right here.
that same way Marvel's been leaning, where they do these limited runs that take place during the time when the comics were better. Like this is obviously going to be in the 90s. Not this cover is not super accurate because Storm is going to be the little kid that Gambit trains, Ro. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. He's Chris Claremont's writing Gambit, one of my personal favorite Marvel heroes because he's from my hometown. And yeah, it's gonna be him and Ro. I believe the Shadow King is gonna be the overarching nemesis here. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a while. And I know Ash knows you put Chris Claremont on any X-Men character, it's bound to be good.
I see this cover here, and I'm just thinking SpongeBob magic. The rainbow going.
But yeah, that's I'm psyched for it. Gambit's always been a big draw for me. I've always loved the character. And I'm psyched to see him get, even if it is a miniseries, I'm excited to see him get some spotlight. And of course, having like little kid Storm as his sidekick.
It's always been him like chasing after Rogue, and Rogue just
there's
being
no Rogue, but there's no Rogue in this though, which is interesting to me because yeah, you're right. Usually, whenever you do see Gambit, Rogue is right there next to him. And I do like the two of them together. Like I love Rogue as well. They're one of my favorite Marvel
This is before he joined the X-Men.
But yeah, this is before his time as an X-Men, so I think it'll be real. It's like seeing, for lack of a better term, it's like seeing Han Solo without Princess Leia around. So, I'm interested. I'm in for it.
Hey, it's got your background. It's gonna be in New Orleans, right?
Heck yeah, the Big Easy,
the Big Sleazy.
Yeah, well, it's that too. It is that too. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. So yeah, This is like a Cape and Cowl Comics exclusive though. That sucks because I would get this, man.
Which one?
The Houston variant Arsenal Comics.
That one's okay.
It's a callback to the original, but it said she's taller.
I kind of want the Marco Mastraza variant where he's throwing the cards. The Williams variant that you had up there in New Orleans is cool too, but the Marco Mastraza variant is really cool. The Peach Mboko one actually isn't even. It's not even half bad. That one's not bad too.
Yeah.
That one's a little bit too Wolverine-ish for me. Like he's on the motorcycle. It seems like a very Wolverine type thing.
The motorcycle looks better than Gambit.
It is a very nicely drawn motorcycle for sure. Oh, and that is Rogue. Oh, well, Rogue's in that cover too. That's Rogue that he's talking to.
Nope.
So, but yeah, that's my number 2.
That's your Disney variant right here.
Ash, I'll see if I can pick you up an extra copy. That way I don't have to give you my only one.
Alrighty, so that's your number 2. Let's go to Skip. You want to just give us a little countdown of your 5 through 2, and then give us your number 1.
Well, wait, what was your number 2, RDV?
Young Justice.
Oh, that's right, it was. Okay, cool. Hey, and real quick, wasn't Greg Weisman also the producer of the show, or was that another dude?
I believe he was. He's got a lot of credits, actually.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was looking him up before we started, and he's done a lot of stuff with DC going back to like the 80s and the early 90s. He's done a lot of different. He's done like some Captain Atom books. He's done the Young Justice comic that started back when the show originally started. So he might be a producer on the show. I can't say for sure. They don't list it on League of Comic Geeks, at least not that I'm seeing.
Okay, so I did double check. So it looks, I believe he was a producer. Yeah, he was a producer for all of the seasons, but he was executive producer for season 4.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the reason why I remember is because it was WizardCon in Sacramento, and it was right after season 2, and we weren't sure if we were going to get another one. Remember when it was like up in the air and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And I went to his panel. He was there, and he was like, I'm telling y'all right now, it's not dead. The show has legs, but it's on streaming services. You have to go. He said, go watch it. Tell your friends to watch it. They're looking at it by views. He said, I don't care if you have a computer, that you just sit up there and you just have it go on autoplay and you just play it. He said they're looking at the numbers. If we can get the numbers, he said, I will happily be a showrunner. I will help plot the rest of it. I will continue to work onto this until it's dead. He said, I just need y'all to do your part. If you do your part, I'll do my part. And I remember being so hyped. And like, it was cool. I got to meet him and all that stuff. And then I remember like going away and I was doing it and everything. And I wasn't sure, we didn't hear anything. And then one day there was a press release saying that we were getting season 3.
I would have been like, bring Mark Wally, do your part, and I'll do my part, and I'll watch.
The reason why I'm not doing that is because my name is not RDV.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, that's why he's
he has written a lot of. He has written a lot of. He wrote some Infinity Incorporated books, some Young All Stars books.
Oh dang!
Who's Who in the DC universe? Like he's got his hands on some DC going back to, like I said, the '80s. So he's been around for a minute.
Undid Quid. His number 2 is Cradle of Filth. Great band.
Oh, yeah.
Are they really a band?
Cradle of Filth was actually a real band in the 90s, I believe. And then Ash has a book.
Hey,
his Good Boy number 3 for his number 2. All right.
Oh yeah, he does like the Good Boy. Yeah.
All right. So let's get
all right.
recap.
So I'm supposed to do a rundown, right? So
Yep.
Okay. So my rundown is go back over to my League of Comic Geek over here. So number 5 was Kaiju Score number 4. From Aftershock Comics. My number 4 was Hit Me number 5 by AWA Upshot. My number 3 was A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance number 10 from Giant Generator is the imprint, Rick Remender's imprint, but it's under Image Comics. And my number 2 was Swamp Thing number 15 from DC Comics. I have a DC comic as my number 1. We already talked about it. It's Detective Comics 1062 by Ron V and Raphael Albuquerque.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this was my number 1 before I read it, and then I did buy it and I read it today, and I didn't shuffle the stack after that. It stayed my number 1. I believe that this book will be, and I didn't buy Swamp Thing and read that, but I'm kind of sick today. I don't think I'm gonna be going anywhere, so I'll probably buy it after this and read that as well, digital. But it's on my pull list. Again, Batman and Detective Comics. Like, I'm pulling ongoing Batman series from DC. I thought hell was gonna freeze over before that would ever happen again.
But look at this cover though. I didn't show out the covers from last time. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that cover is awesome. Is that a Inhyuk Lee?
That is.
Might be.
Yep.
Yeah. Might be. Yeah.
Yep. Inhyuk Lee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that Gambit cover that you were just showing, I looked at it and without even looking at, I'm just like noticing his style now. I'm like, oh, that must be an Inhyuk Lee cover. And you scroll down more, and I was like, yep. But that one it's an incentive, so I won't be able to get it. But I am gonna get that J.H. Williams cover right there. But yeah, like Ron V coming in, giving Batman the Ron V treatment. Like, I've already read it, so I won't say too much about it, like specifics, but it definitely feels like a Ron V story. It's very much a Batman story, and I like the intrigue that we get. I like how it starts off with, like, because it looks very theatrical. It's very gothic, like in the classic sense of gothic, which I like, because obviously Gotham is a character within itself, but I think far too often, I mean, and it's fine because it's carved out its own characteristics, but most of us are just happy and content with a crime-ridden, very dark and very noir Gotham. But I want a gothic Gotham. I want the gargoyles and all that stuff to be leaned into. I want the theatrical. I want all of that in it. And Ron V is bringing the gothic to Gotham. He's bringing the theatrical, but along with that, he's not taking so many liberties that he's like taking it out of the world of Batman. The second that Batman shows up in this, it's very much Batman. we get those elements. I'm really enjoying what it's doing. Since I'm a Ron V fan, we're getting some other elements too. You feel a little bit of these Savage Shores in there when you read it, not because he can't get away from that, but I like, kind of similar, how do we talk about Jonathan Hickman and Donny Cates? writers who like have a through line. Like if you just read their books, they have reoccurring themes and they have their own Hickman verse, their own Kate's verse. You know,
Mhm.
he's got his own Ram V verse. So if you follow his books, he drops little tiny things in there that it's like, hey, thanks for reading that book too. Here's a little bit of this. Even on down to Dave Stewart's colors, I felt like there was definitely a little bit of Paradiso, but very much there's like some hints of like, well, yeah, actually Paradiso, like from David Stewart's cover. So I even feel like Dave Stewart kind of went and like looked at some of Ram's previous work and like, oh, okay, these types of colors really support the stories that you're telling, and kind of went in that as well. And even Raphael Albuquerque's art, like some of the cross hatching and stuff like that, very much has the Savage Shores vibes. But with all of that said, Ramvi's coming in, he's bringing you theater. He's bringing you Batman adventure stuff, but he's bringing you a detective story because there's very much like that little intrigue in there. You know, you got your things your through lines that you got to follow, and it's very apparent that although while the man Bruce Wayne himself is being haunted, the character of Batman also has something that he's fixated on. That, you know, Batman's obsession with with being so intelligent and wanting to solve things for the greater good of the citizens of Gotham is very much in line here, and I cannot wait for issue number 2 to see where else
There's
it
only
goes.
one little, and I was reading this, one little scene in the beginning where it kind of takes me out. Where he's kind of like he sees the guys and he's like, he thinks to himself, okay, let's make a game out of it. Let's see if I get this done within, he's counting the guys. This will take 30 seconds. And he starts counting down. I'm like, this feels like Spider-Man.
He didn't count down. He didn't count down.
No, he didn't count down.
At the end of it, he just realized that it took him longer than it normally does. But that stuff to me, that reminds me of stuff of like the Clock King and stuff like that. I mean, like that's the detective, right? Like that, like he is so meticulous with himself, scenarios, and the things around him. That's what makes him the great detective that he is. When something's off, he senses it. And when something's off, it is like I even see him doing elements of that in like the
it just felt kind of boyish,
Yeah.
as well. A boyish younger Batman versus what we normally get.
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like you said, what we normally get, modern day, what we've been getting is not a very interesting Batman to me. This is what makes it more interesting. That's why I gravitate towards this. I'll tell you, I like Chip Zdarsky very much. He's one of my favorite up and coming writers, and I really love Ram V. But I expected Chip Zdarsky's issue number 1 to be better than Ram V's, because I think right now Chip Zdarsky is still technically a better writer, but it wasn't. And I think part of the reason why I didn't like it better is because, and it's not because it was bad. I think it was good. I overall liked it, but I realized something to myself with like going through this. I like the detective side of Batman more than I like just the, wham bam, I'm Batman doing Batman things. Here's my Bat family. I
The
like
Hammers of Justice.
That's what I like. Yeah, like the Hammers of Justice is fine, but
Red
that's
Bull.
not like I'm not that type of person. Action movies are cool and I enjoy them, but I'm gonna enjoy like a thriller, a suspenseful kind of thing that is more cerebral. I'm more of a cerebral type person.
Well, that's
so
what
for this being more cerebral, it pulls me in more.
That's what drew me into the Batman movie so much. Why I liked it better than all the other Batmans.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nolan definitely made, because he's a cerebral director and writer, so he made it more cerebral than the previous one. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But hey, if that took you out of it, I don't want to devalue that.
No,
it
did take me out of it. It just threw me for a loop. And like, is he really counting? And he's like, I'll just, and then he finds out it's like, I'm slower than usual. It's
which I like. I don't want to get too far into it, but what else was cool about that is that led to a scene with someone that and I won't say who. I know we may have already, but I don't want to spoil it too much.
It was Tom
led
King.
to a scene with someone that gave me a part of Batman's relationships that I want to see.
Yep.
And it was a really cool, like little, I don't want to say team building, but it was a really cool little character moment. But even that leads into something. He's slower now, so he's got multiple mysteries. It's not just the biggest main plot of what's going on, but it's also why am I a little slower than normal right now?
Is it because he is getting old, or is it because there's something else going on and he's just
see how you ask the question? You don't know.
No.
So you asked the question, and it made us ask the question: why is he getting? Is he really getting older? I mean, because he is getting older, or is something else going on that we don't know, and we have to stick around to find out what it was, and
Yeah,
that got me in there. So anyway, I don't want to take up too much more time, but that's my number one,
he's
and
just
I'm very
missing.
excited for issue
He's
two.
just
Nice.
missing. He's just gonna not be eating as much as more he's used to. He's gonna be. We're gonna have a thinner Batman, who's more frail.
We might be, or maybe Catwoman's not around, so you know what I'm saying, they're not getting that Tom King Cat Bat action happening, and it's slowing them down a little bit. I don't know. If Tom King needs to come and rescue these series, Tom King, please come and rescue this series for us.
Don't worry, Miracle Morale will save us all. All right.
Everybody that knows me knows I can't stand Tom King. Tom King, retire.
Please retire or go write for someone else.
Exactly.
Make your own universe of sad characters.
I'd put him on a Watchmen
Exactly.
series.
Exactly. Like, am I the only one that thinks that like he should be on a Watchmen series?
He wrote Rorschach and drove that into the ground. We'll
It's
have the
so
rest of the teams.
bleak. It's so bleak. Just let him stay there.
All right. So my number, I'll count down my list and I'll go to my number 2 or number 1. Number 5 was The Scorched. Number 4 was Iron Cat. 3 was Detective Comics. 2 was Young Justice Targets, and the number 1 is actually Zach's number 2, Gambit. Now, Gambit has been one of my characters that whenever he gets a book series, either it's a hit or it's a miss, and they really don't like, of all the characters that have been getting like all these ongoing series, Gambit back in the day had his own solo series, and actually I thought they were a lot better than some of the Wolverine series. But me and Bartman's partial to the guy who is he's a Cajun, he's a ladies' man,
Cajun.
You know, throwing playing cards. You know, think about it though. So Chris Claremont coming back, and it's supposed to be writing. I like the fact that he's writing it before he joined the X-Men. Now, I'm not a huge X-Men fan, so I don't know really if they ever wrote a story before he joined the X-Men, or he just suddenly disappeared, you know, in that uncanny whatever it is, and that was it.
Well, no, he was around before he joined the X-Men. I'm pretty sure.
So I don't, yeah,
that's an Ash. That's going to be an Ash question.
I never read anything, but they're talking about yeah. It says Gambit Carter, Miriam's girl named Rose. Storm regressed to their childhood self, but then the nefarious nanny, and the two went up against the force of the Shadow King. So the first time we're gonna realize his path to becoming a heroic X-Men, millions of fans call their favorite. Joined by the Red Star, you have Sid Kodiak. I don't know. Yeah. So now this is the thing, though. It's just Chris Claremont, because Chris Claremont came back and was writing a story back in the day, early 2000s for Marvel, and I forgot. I'm supposed to say Extreme X-Men or whatever it was, but it wasn't as great as his original stuff. What I've been reading. So, and this is also he's older now, and I don't know if they're gonna really restrict him what he can write or not. But Gambit has always been one of my favorite Marvel characters, other than Spider-Man. You know, I don't understand the hot pink, but you know,
that's just the color of the energy he produces.
His pants, he's got pink on his. You know.
Oh, but he's always had that.
Yeah,
it's always been that kind of burgundy, pink, fuchsia color.
Yeah. So, hopefully it does well. But yeah, I mean, it could go horribly wrong, or it could go fantastically great. It's and it's I don't think it's gonna one shot. I think it's been a new.
No, it's a limited series. I think it's like five or six issue limited series.
So I don't know. The guy deserves more love. He should have had his own movie.
Not with Channing Tatum though. I don't think I would have wanted Channing Tatum to play.
Who would you rather have him? I mean, it's very limited though.
For the first 5 minutes, Taylor Kitsch did a pretty good job as Gambit and the Wolverine. But then once he starts like flying the plane, his accent shifts. He goes from New Orleans Cajun to like, I'm from the mountains of Tennessee. It's really weird. No, if I wanted a Gambit, that's actually a good question. Who would I want to play Gambit in a Gambit movie? I'll have to get back to you on that. That's not something I can think of off the top of my head. He'd have to do like a decent, a really good Louisiana Cajun accent.
I would have chose the guy who played the Midnight Man in but he died. Like Giuseppe, whatever it was. What the guy who died in the skiing accident that was supposed to be in the Moon Knight.
Oh,
show?
the guy from Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Dick.
Maybe.
Josh Holloway would have been my choice though back in the day too, for an older Gambit.
Mm.
But we'll probably get stuck with Zac Efron.
No, I don't think so. I think if Zac Efron had to be in an MCU role, I would put him in the role as the Human Torch. I think that's who I would have him play.
Just give me Eddie from Stranger Things. Just bulk
As
him up.
Gambit?
Yeah, just bulk him up.
No. Actually, I wonder if Joe Keery definitely has the look with the hair. I don't know if he could nail the accent.
That's the thing, though.
But with the hair, he definitely could do the look. The accent, though, is the big one. That's the big one for sure. But
all right. So that being said, we'll give you a recap, and we'll go to your number one.
Alrighty. My number 5 book for this week is The Scorched, number 8. My number 4 for this week is DC Comics DC Mech, number 1. Number 3 is going to be Kaiju Score, Steal from the Gods, number 4. Number 2 is Gambit, number 1. And my number 1 book of the week. Where did it go? Oh, here it is.
Amazing Spider-Man?
Nope. Not even close. It's not even on that top row. I don't think it's on the second row. It is George R.R. Martin's Wild Cards, The Drawing of Cards.
Oh, nice. Ash was talking about that the other day.
I have been kind of excited since they announced this. Now, I have not read any of the novels. I've heard that I need to read the
Carrot Top
novels.
and the Penguin from Gotham.
I've heard that I need to read the novels. It's more than 20 short stories across 25 books, and a whole bunch of different authors have gotten in. It's like a bunch of anthology short stories, but it sounds really, really cool. It's an alternate history of Earth where people get superpowers from like an alien virus. It's called the wild card virus, and some of them become heroes, some of them become villains. And I think it takes place mostly in like a 1920s, 1930s timeline. Which I love, the 20s, 30s, 40s, the whole aesthetic of it all. So yeah, it looks interesting. Now, I don't know anything about the writer on this, Paul Cornell. Not very familiar. Of course, George R.R. Martin, everybody knows him from being perpetually late on the last Game of Thrones book. But yeah, it just sounds really cool. I think the comic run is going to be an anthology, a collection of short stories as well. I think there might be 3 in this first issue, maybe. I could be wrong. Probably am. But yeah, it looks really cool. The cover it's got a nice pulp look to it. Mike Hawthorne is one of the artists, or he is the artist rather, excuse me. Of course, you've got Salvador LaRocca has one of the variants, which is a really nice one with the pilot coming over the old time aircraft. So yeah, this is my number 1. I've been looking forward to this one for a good while now.
The Bobby Lashley cover.
The Lashley one's okay. Not gonna be probably not the one that I'm hoping to get. I'm hoping if I can't get the LaRocca, I'll probably settle for the cover A. Because yeah, since you said Carrot Top, thank you. That's gonna be in my head every time I look at that cover now.
I told you Carrot Top, and then the pilot looks like the guy who played Penguin in Gotham.
What? No, I don't see that. He looks like Aaron Taylor Johnson more than Penguin from Gotham. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Actually, I think that this will be a really cool read.
Yeah, they even have their own Two-Face in right there.
Yeah, it looks like a Two-Face type guy.
It's Dr. Doom Stranger.
Yeah,
I'm Stranger.
So it'll be cool. I hope it'll be cool.
And really, seriously, as soon as I saw this looks like Carrot Top.
Oh, Breen says Paul Cornell is British and wrote for Marvel during the good period of 2005-2012. Okay, cool. Good to know. All right. Breen approves. He wrote a Wolverine ongoing as well. Okay. Yep. Very nice.
Right, nice. So it looks like they already got 4 already planned out. So I'm not
4 issues planned out. I don't know if it's going to be a limited series. Hopefully it's going to be like an ongoing, but time will tell. We'll see. I know most books I guess they plan Marvel. Most books they plan around 12 issues, and then if it does really good, they continue it after that. But we will see.
All right, just trying to see. Undead Quinn, his number one book was the Book of Shadows, number one.
No. Oh yeah, no, from Valiant, right?
Yep, Valiant take on the Just League Dark.
That one looked interesting. I may pick that one up if I can find it at the LCS.
and
There's a
I
few other
think-
books I have that I'm curious about.
I was trying to see what Ash it is. Number one is.
It's got to be Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yep, that's it.
Knew it.
All right. Just trying to look at some of the comments in here going on. Ashes and Breen and Undead Quinn and Skip and Tosh. Oh, Miranda. Hello to Trusty. See you in there.
Oh yeah, I didn't even say hi. I saw him in the chat a little while ago. Hi, Trusty.
All right.
So I'm actually really curious now. I wasn't anticipating getting the new Detective Comics, but hearing you and Skip talk about it, I'm actually curious now about it. So I may pick that one up as well. Shoot, if I start reading 2 Batman ongoings in the same month, that's crazy.
Like I said,
me.
they said the artist, it's artist so like Gotham
Like,
it's Gotham by Gaslight got a feel to it. Like as far as like the art, it's dark.
See, I just don't
it's-
read Batman books. Like I'll watch Batman movies, but I just don't read Batman books. He's never been a character that's really been like, oh, I got to read his.
And
It's never been me. I'd rather read like Green Arrow or someone that's a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
But yeah,
It's-
now Zdarsky and now Rambi.
a new mysterious group of villains coming to Gotham and like and just and like if you like Court of Owls, it kind of feels kind of like that too in a sense.
See, Skip and I are twins again. Not even a lifelong Batman fan, and look at us now. We got Zdarsky and Rambi. It's like, what on earth?
Exactly.
I
But that like it's something that echoes through a lot of the like people in the circles that we're around, right? When you put quality creators on books, we will be interested in it and we won't have as much of a problem supporting it. And we'll talk about it. We'll say, hey, like
Hype it up.
I don't DC has a bunch of gimmicks where they're giving you backstories just to charge you extra $2. That's whack. But I can't lie, this Ron V story was really good. So it might be worth the extra money just to check it out. Like
Ram V, I started reading him on Catwoman because I figured like, okay, I looked at all these covers that coming out. I was like, holy crap! He had forgot who was the girl that was writing before him.
Blake Northcott wrote the 2 issues with
She did that, but there was another one.
Was it Joelle?
Joel Jones? Yeah, Jones. I got me on that. I was reading like, wow, the covers are great, and all the interior is great.
Yeah, because she did the art too, didn't she?
Yeah, Ram V was writing and all that stuff, and then like it's just I had never heard of Ram V before, so I was reading all this stuff. I liked it. I followed him over to his Carnage series that David Michelini started, and then he took over after he left Venom because now Ewing's not writing Venom, and it's like I said, wherever you follow these writers, a lot of times you're gonna have the better comic books, and it sucks. I never used to follow writers back in the day. I used to pick up a book like Spider-Man. I knew it was gonna be great no matter who was writing it. Now I pick up a book, it's like, okay, who's writing it? Who's in the art? All right, it's not Rossmo. Good.
Yep.
like Rossmo's leaving next week, and my John Boy Myers is doing the cover art, and the interior art looks pretty good too for the Harley Quinn and book series. And I know people are like, oh, I don't like Stephanie Phillips. I've read good books by Stephanie Phillips. The stuff I did read by her in the first Harley Quinn book was good, but it was just so hard to follow because the art was just so horrible around it. So the fact that Rossmo is now leaving and going on to that Tim Drake book, I think you're gonna see a lot more people buying that book now, because when Rossmo's on a book, it kills the sales. So maybe they'll do that with Tim, the new Robin book. But all right, so yeah, that's what I got for the books, and hello to Raul Scott, Scouts. Yeah, you're late, man. It's morning where you are. You can always watch on replay.
There you go.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else for the day, guys? Any other questions, comments from the chat?
Come
That's
on,
all I
Peanut
got.
Gallery. Yeah, that's all. I mean, like I said, there's a few other books, but none of them made it into the top 5. I'll probably get the new Robin.
Yeah.
You know,
The Robin was good, but I mean, like, it's also like campy or quirky.
It's more fillery. It's not the Lazarus tournament, and it's, you know, of course, there's the whole Batman versus Robin thing that's coming down the pipe. So this is kind of like just a appetizer.
I'm glad I dropped the Venom because look at that. Is it Kang?
Yeah, well, I imagine Kang is going to be showing up in a lot of books coming up in the
Spider-Man
future.
are like, oh, look at we here. We got John Romita art, but we also have the Sinister Six. I'm like, no, it's so until Zeb Wells is gone. Actually, it's not even it's Ed McGuinness doing the art on this.
I like Ed McGuinness,
but still, I just don't care for that. I mean, why does? I'm sorry, I like Ed McGuinness art, but I mean, that Kraven the Hunter looks horrible.
That's not Ed McGuinness on the cover. That's John Romita.
Is that John Romita on the cover? You sure?
That's
Yeah,
Romita.
that's definitely Romita.
That's not Ed McGuinness.
Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, it is John Romita because I was like, that head is just horrible.
Yeah, no, Ed McGuinness is solid.
Yeah, Ed McGuinness is awesome.
Look how that leg is bending. That's Romita.
Yeah, that's a classic Romita. Which I don't mind. I don't hate it as much as you do. If nothing else, he has a very distinctive.
The leg goes like this, and then it goes, and then goes back. Ugh.
I don't mind it, to be honest, but I do think it's weird how Kraven kind of looks like Tom Selleck from Blue Bloods.
Kraven, old man Kraven. I drive my Ferrari.
That's funny.
I just don't. It actually looks more like Omni-Man to me.
Oh, I guess yeah. Mustache is a little wide, but yeah.
Think, Spider, think. Like I said, I just don't understand the craze for John Romita. I've never liked his art. His father was the best. And look at all the covers they got here. There.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be Marvel without. Isn't this supposed to be issue 900?
Yeah, issue legacy,
quote,
yeah,
quote unquote legacy number 900. Yeah, I agree. You know what? I was thinking about that last week. Ash, Ultra Mega. It's like, when was the last time that was on shelves? Like, it feels like it was 2 houses that I lived in ago. The last time there was an Ultra Mega book out.
I mean, why
twice?
Why isn't this the main cover?
That's been done before.
I don't care. It's Tyler Kirkman, and he's actually drawing something that actually looks good to be on a poster on a T-shirt. Compared to John Romita crap.
It is true.
Not
that John Romita is crap. I like his stuff, but anyway.
I don't know. I like callback issues, but yeah. If you want to check out the worst books of the week, go check out Action Comics, the stream we did last night. Went over it towards the end.
I thought y'all were talking about The Boys.
For the first hour, we talked about other stuff, and then for like 50 minutes, we talked about The Boys. And then we talked about I think comic books for the last 20.
That was before, yeah, because I was like skip. I kind of just like dozed off.
It was a 3-hour live stream, I think. That's why.
Well, no, I was like listening to it in the background. I got hit with a drawing itch, so I started drawing. And I was like listening in the background, and then something happened. I just closed my eyes, and when I was done, as the stream was over. When I opened my eyes, the stream was over.
Now, ignore the cover, but this book, I read it. It's the final issue. It was great.
Is this the one with the EMP?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's it literally felt like I was reading like a Batman animated series issue.
Nice.
Killer Croc's in this.
Ooh, nice.
Look at this cover.
I do like Killer Croc.
Sienkiewicz cover. That's
pretty sweet.
That is. Look at the deal list.
Oh, actually, dang, that is actually a really cool cover.
This is the cover I'm getting.
That's got some Anaconda vibes to it with the tail and the mist. That's cool. That actually creeps me out a little bit. Like,
doesn't it?
Killer Croc is like, he's one of the villains. When I played the Arkham games, Killer Croc was like the jump scare villain that would freak me out. So he's like one of the few villains that could actually terrify me in a game or something. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that. Is that's Black Label, right?
Black Label, yes, this is the
Yeah.
the magazine
Nice.
coming out.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
I recommend if you're picking it up, and they're like, well, it's $7, but it's like you're actually getting a good story. You're not getting propaganda. You're actually getting a magazine style, a thicker book.
The Black Labels are generally, from what I could tell, the Black Label stories are pretty good. I know the Suicide Squad Blaze story has been good.
The one I'm waiting for is the next Rogues book.
I haven't read Rogues yet.
Rogues is good.
Yeah, I really want to. That's Josh Williamson writing that, and it's got Flash Rogues in it. So, yeah, I'll probably check that out one of these days.
And I can't think of else. I'm not getting Deathstroke anymore. Year 1. I don't need to have that.
I think that's still on my pull list. I'm not too big on that cover, but Ash says that was a contender for cover of the year. That one you just had up there.
Oh, the Ram, not
With the Killer Croc.
Killer Croc one, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That was a really striking cover.
Just looking at everything's coming out tomorrow, it's just like
Public Domain. I mean, we didn't talk about Public Domain. That's a Chip Zdarsky, I believe. I know we were talking about issue 1. I actually still need to find issue number 1.
I'll let you borrow my issue 1.
And then there's the new Captain Marvel, the Genis Val from Peter David that comes out tomorrow too.
I hope it's more
nice.
Peter. I hope it's more Peter David than Peter David in the new Fantastic Four, because that book is not good.
Yeah.
Man,
I like the second
that
issue.
book was fun, bro.
Yeah, it was fun. The second issue was definitely better. It was an improvement for sure. But yeah, Genis Val, Captain Marvel #1. So
it was like getting bad coffee and then they add sugar to it. Oh, it's better, but it's still bad coffee.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, you add the right amount of sugar to the right cup of coffee. I used to do this for a living. You could do all kinds of stuff to make a cup of coffee good.
Tell him, twin. Tell him. Hey, everybody.
You put all your creamer and all that stuff. It's still
not creamer. Not creamer. You put too much cream, it drowns out the whole flavor of the espresso.
Bad coffee is still bad coffee, no matter what it's like a turd. You can polish it as much as you want. It's still a turd.
Oh my gosh. You're calling Peter David's current Marvel work a turd? Please tell me you've been reading other Marvel books that are coming out right now. Peter David's worst Marvel book makes some
I'm sorry.
current Marvel books look like garbo.
When I have Wolverine who can't smoke, he has to have a pretzel stick.
Okay, that's one panel.
And that's not his choice.
And that's not it. That's not up to him. Yeah, that's between the artist and the editorial. That's not him. Rhaegar Frappuccinos suck. Those are the bane of my barista existence. Freaking Frappuccinos. Anyone who orders a Frappuccino,
I gotta ask you why offline, because I'm not privy to. I'm not up on coffee, so I need to know what's so bad about Fraps.
It's a coffee for people who want desserts, not who want actual coffee.
Now,
like you want that go to Baskin Robbins or go get a McFlurry or something. Don't kid yourself. You're not drinking coffee. You're getting coffee ice.
You heard it from the man himself, everyone.
There you go. But also, Frappuccinos are Starbucks, and Starbucks is like the evil empire of coffee. So I worked at a little local coffee shop. We were like a little rebellion, but we had our own version of it. Still terrible. But anyway, that's a whole other tangent I can go down.
Writer creator Frank Martin welcomes you to the Macker Bay Motel, a Twilight Zone inspired weird horror story that'll leave you feeling deeply unsettled.
Macabre.
You know what, Zach? I like you better when you're quiet.
I like you better when you're pronouncing words right.
I never will. So you're gonna keep correcting me. Who will get tired speaking, you or me?
Probably you. I can talk for a while. But I haven't heard of this. What is this one?
This is through Comics Experience Publishing. It's a one shot.
Interesting.
I'm surprised it wasn't on Skip. It wasn't on yours. It's a little Invader Zim kind of like.
Yeah, a little Twilight Zone inspired horror story.
Yeah, looks interesting. Whoa, Frank Martin Jr. Wait, Frank Martin? Really? The colors? That's cool because I like him.
Yeah.
Wow, he's okay. That's cool. Yeah, so this is the dude that colored East of West, and he colored a lot of the Venom run with Donny Cates that led up to King of Black and all of that stuff. Wow, it's cool to see him stepping out and writing. I didn't realize that Ed Brisson had started off as a letterer before he had gotten into writing. So always cool to see when creatives have more than one talent. I hope the book does well. Now I might get it just to support him.
Yeah. Like you said, I gotta look for because a lot of these small indie books like this, neither one of my shops will usually carry these small ones. It has to be like something that's very popular or at least has through Image, a publisher. Like this is the first I've heard of SEX. That I don't think they have anything else. But here's alternative cover by Ryan Koboth. Weird. Now we've seen Poison Ivy. Old.
Oh, there's something I could have lived my whole life without seeing.
Like this has like that crazy like Invader Zim kind of feel that this
Invader Zim and Twilight Zone kind of had a baby, and it looks like Macabre Hotel is that baby. Yeah,
I just like this cover, man. It's just like it really the art and stuff. It just reminded me of Invader Zim right away with the pink and everything.
Yeah, I could see that. The pink with a little bit of green, the pale green. Yeah.
All right. If you do get this, Skip, let me know how you like it, because
I will let you know.
I might have to borrow it off you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like we haven't done that before, right?
Right. Yep.
Like actually done it before, because like I literally have mailed you comics to borrow and read.
All right, so I think we'll end it here, unless you guys got any other books you want to talk about.
I'm tapped, my friend.
I'm out.
All right. Yeah, because there really isn't much else in here that I thought was interesting. No, another Christopher Priest book that I'm not buying.
Hey. Oh, there goes the Bendis book, Pearl number 3. I want to read that for Michael Gaidos' art, but I've never read any of the previous Pearls, so I'm gonna grab them digitally. Well, grab an issue first to see if I can actually get through it, and if I can, then I'm gonna try to read up so I can read this one. But I really like Michael Gaidos' art. If they can bring back some of the Alias vibes, that'd be cool. And I just finished reading Cover by Brian Michael Bendis, and I got through it all, and I actually liked it. So I'm like, still down to try more Bendis stuff.
That is a very 90s style cover.
Reminds me of Alias.
Yeah.
Alias, or
it's the same artist. That's why I said I had Alias vibes.
I was thinking of the Alias show.
The Alias show. Okay, that
way back in the gap.
I was saying because the bright lights and all stuff and the green stuff, it was reminding me of X-Files.
Oh, I could see that too.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see it.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pearl 3. And it's Volume 3, Issue 3. Years in the making. Bloody hell. All right. Mr. Mike is the crime boss. Wow.
Yeah, because see, it has to do with like Yakuza and stuff like that. And
but his name is Mr. Mike.
Mr. Mike.
Let's learn how you read it, Mike.
Mr. Mike. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. For those reasons, because that's the thing with Bendis, he has good ideas. It's just his execution isn't always there. I would say if he's the best at anything, it's coming up with cool ideas. He comes up with really interesting ideas. He doesn't lack that. It's just that in the execution, he'll get in there and he'll fudge it up. And then if it's a bad idea that editorial let get through, then it's a double. It's doubly bad, because then it's bad scripting and a bad idea.
Ash is saying it's hate the photo tracing art in Pearl.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm with you. Sometimes when people kind of have a tracing type style and approach, I can't see past it, and it takes me out. But
I'm not
with
a fan
Gaidos, I'm cool with it. Gaidos and who else does it? And another artist David Mack. When Gaidos and David Mack do it, for whatever reason, it usually works for me.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Greg Horn's art, but people like his stuff too. I mean, I'm not sure if he traces though. I know Greg Land does, but Greg Horn always does like the photo art.
Yeah, photo realism. Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he's like tracing it all too for his stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, like for as much as we dump on Greg Land, and I dump on Greg Land, some of his stuff is actually good, and it actually turns out okay. Some of it's
Skip
just hard to look past some of those faces sometimes.
Skip Herd.
Skipper, hey, there goes a book that Ash likes. We only find them when they're dead, or at least he was reading it. I don't know if he's still reading it, but
Radiant Red, the spinoff of Radiant Black. They'll still have Radiant Green, Yellow, and Orange.
hey, is that Superman series? Is that Michael Allred? That looks like Michael Allred.
This is Mark Russell and Mike Allred and his wife Laura Allred.
Okay, I might check that out too. I might just wait for the trade. I noticed that Mark Russell won Eisner for I think it was Best Comedy Series for Not All Robots, and I like, as much as I know people tend to have an issue with Mark Russell, and I from what I've seen, what people have an issue with, I wouldn't go against it. But Not All Robots was super good and hella funny, so I was actually happy to see him win for that, because that didn't have nothing to do with pre-established characters, and that was written very well, and I laughed out loud multiple times reading that comic. So I'm down to. I mean, he can probably really screw Superman over and make him do weird things, but I'm gonna treat it like an Elseworlds, and I'm gonna look at that Michael Allred art and just be like,
"This is a Steve Rude cover.
I like it.
Looks kind of cool."
Oh, right on. Oh yeah, I got a Nick Darrington cover in there in the mix as well. That's cool.
He's got no ass. It's flat.
Yeah.
No super booty.
Nope, that's Krypton's ass.
Was Krypton's ass? They're dead now. Now it's Earth's.
Yeah, I guess so. Cap takes the cake when it comes to cake. Mike
Elder, there's his variant 150. I just don't like how the eyes look. It looks like a zombie. I don't like this. The bags under the eyes.
It just looks Egyptian to me.
Egyptian Superman. I've heard it all now.
Why not?
He's flying with the overalls.
In the 70s, and he's been from a whole bunch of different places. All those old bootleg like Superman shows and Spider-Man shows and all.
There's the Hindi Superman. I've seen that for movies. Whenever
that's right.
The Dollywood or Bollywood, whatever it's called. It's all right, so yeah, hopefully this. I mean, I hope you enjoy. I mean, Lex Luthor's, I think, is a moment in this too. They're talking about this on Bleeding Cool, I think it was, or was it? It might have been Bleeding Fool. One of the two, about any of the comic books. We're talking about this. Lex Luthor. It was this and Batman Fortress were both coming out at the same time, with Lex Luthor being written like I guess.
No, that is Batman Fortress. That's not this one.
But they were also talking about this book too at the same time. This is also coming out with Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay.
So okay. I don't know if these will tie in together or not.
No, they're standalone stories.
I'm not a fan of Mark Russell, but I mean I can appreciate other art. So, but like I said, hopefully it's better than Mark Russell and Red Sonja. All right, so I think we're gonna call her here. I think we're going into the weeds, and we're pulling Ash with us. Maybe we'll find Ash there. He's always in the weeds.
He might be in there. Since I'm laid up and whatnot, if well, I know we're gonna end this stream, but if we want to hang out in the Discord and chat a little bit, I'm down to do that. Or if someone wants to start like another stream, like a hangout stream, I'm good with that. But I'm not feeling well, so all I can do right now is read comics and talk.
Come find me.
There you go.
I'm in the weeds. I'm out here laid up in the weeds.
Go look for Ash. I'm gonna go.
I'm looking for him.
I'm gonna go say hi to my wife. She just walked in the door, so I'm gonna go say hi, see if she enjoyed the okra that I fried earlier tonight. So
no fried okra for me, twin. Fried okra is the best, man.
Dude, it's so easy to do too, which is awesome. I love that it's so easy and quick. I can do it in do a batch in like 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
I'll have to find a way to
air fryer.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that could work with an air fryer. I was doing it old school with the skillet and the vegetable oil and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to.
Air fryer is probably what's up.
All right, twin powers. We're gonna get some twin okra going on. But anyway, I don't want to hold you up anymore. Yeah, go be a good husband. Go see what's up with your wife. RDV, if you want to chat, we can get in the
will
Discord or
do.
something like that. Let me know.
Because Rhaegar says, in Soviet Russia, Asian comics looks for you. Just like Waldo. You don't want to find Waldo because Waldo will find you.
Exactly.
Waldo is expert assassin in Russia.
Waldo is behind you always.
You do not find Waldo. Waldo will find you. All right. And Gary Woulda can suck it, says Eric Green. We do like, if you guys enjoy this, if you can, we do have a Ko-Fi link. You know, you don't have to, but we do appreciate, you know, people who do leave us $1 or whatever. It helps it go towards. We read comic books in here, so it helps go toward helping the channel out. It also helps Pixel get from under the bridge. You know, he's stuck there.
Under the bridge or out of his little Harry Potter stairway apartment.
It also helps Pixel find gloves that fit his freakishly long fingers.
That's true. It's very difficult.
Yeah. Also, leave a comment down below after the stream. It helps the algorithm, helps share us out, reach more people.
Let us know what books you're reading or what books you're not reading, or, you know, whatever. Maybe you're reading a back issue. Tell us what back issues you're reading. Maybe you have an actual back issue with your spine. Let us know about that.
And if you want to find Skip, just look in the weeds.
There you
go. Skip, I don't know if you have. Do you have a YouTube channel at all? I thought you had one, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's probably out in the weeds. Yeah, it's Skip and Tosh. Yeah, you can go look at some of my old videos. Like, you know what? Let me. If it's not already there, one series that I did really like that I started and I didn't finish was when my buddy Nick Dragata left me a bunch of books before he moved back over to the East Coast. He left me like a library of comics, and I was going through like the various bags and stuff that he left me. Go check that out. There's some really good books in there, and that was a really good time. So if you just want to watch someone like a kid on a comic book Christmas opening up books from his favorite artists, go check that out. It was fun.
All right. You can also check out Skip on Twitch as well. Same name, I believe.
That's right. Yes. He does have a Twitch. I forgot about it. That's right. I remember you had a Twitch. Yeah,
I do. If you want to, that's what I'm getting ready to get back to. If you want to go see the various comic books that I've read on Twitch, go check that out. Especially if you like Hickman, because I went through almost all of his Secret Warriors, and with the news about Secret Wars coming out and everything, I know a lot of people are going to gear up to do full Hickman runs to start reading through the beginning of his Marvel stuff all the way through his Secret Wars and S.H.I.E.L.D. and, you know, Fantastic Four, Dark Reign, and then his great Fantastic Four run to Avengers and New Avengers on up to Secret Wars. So go check some of that out. That was his very first series that he wrote. And damn, that's how you start a comics career. He came out swinging.
Yeah, actually, I just got it somewhere. Not over here. I do have the first volume of his Fantastic Four run. I was going to start going through. So I've been getting into Fantastic Four a lot recently. So I was like, yeah, let me probably go through his Fantastic Four run.
Anyone's plot.
If you do, I'll read it with you, because I've been looking for people to go back through his Fantastic Four run with. But I started redoing it, and now I started rereading Avengers and New Avengers, but I will gladly go back and start his Fantastic Four and then do Avengers and New Avengers again. It was such a fun ride, and so many moments that I literally stood up and like yelled and put my fist in the air, and the book like falls off my lap, and so many moments where like I literally like shed a tear. It was a bombastic run.
He does do good. I didn't even really like Secret Wars. His Secret, I didn't like it all that much. There were some really cool parts of it. I mostly got bogged down in the tie-ins and the spinoffs. But then when I went back and I read like the main story. There were some like genuinely really awesome moments. Like there I could think of like 2 or 3, and I won't say them here just in case there's somebody that hasn't read them yet.
All right.
But yeah, some really cool. Yeah, just like you, it's like I just kind of wanted to like just like cheer or something when something like just one of those really cool moments. He's an awesome writer. I like Hickman a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yes.
We're doing one of those famous long goodbyes.
Are we?
It feels like it.
I mean, I did not know that.
40 minutes later. A Hickman run later.
That's a long run.
That's a long. Yeah, exactly.
All right. I'll see you guys later. I'll be in the Discord. Well, depends on what Discord you want to be. I know, Tip, you're only in my Discord, so if that's what will be in my Discord.
Righty.
I think most people here are probably already in my Discord. So, alrighty. See you later.
Stay hydrated, everybody.
We'll see you this Thursday. But Zach won't because he hates you. Good night.